Good evening, and welcome to the very first streamed session of Philadelphia by Night. I'm your host, Ryan, and I have here with me my neonates and some guests. We'll get to know them a little bit better after the stream, but first, as this is a Vampire the Masquerade 5e game placed in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, there's a little bit that we wanted to cover because there are some trigger warnings we like to put out ahead of time. We do this both on and off sessions, so the players hear this every time they have a session, whether it's here with you, the lovely audience, or in private on our Discord server. But this session may contain, and is not limited to, body horror, mutilation, manipulation, gaslighting, use and abuse of disciplines, raised voices, possibility of violence leading up to and including final death, possible message of tortures, starvation and the mentions thereof, and religious extreme practices. Our players have a safety mechanism built into our server where they can show me certain emojis that they are now well informed and aware about. That if something happens and we need to pause the session, we absolutely will. We will take a break or come back or step away entirely because player safety is our number one concern here. So, since it's our very first session, this is actually season 2 of Philly by Night. So there's been a little bit going on that if you've seen our TikToks, you might be familiar with. If not, we're going to cover it real quick. Philadelphia has been torn apart by not one, but 2 bloody coups in the last year. The kindred population is in ruins, decimated to the point where several clans no longer have any representation. And many others, those that remain, can be counted on a single hand. Former Ventru Prince Lydia Burke wielded hunters like a scythe, purging the city of those she deemed unworthy. Rumors swirled that her brutal actions were all for a higher purpose, to strengthen the city for the return of the ancient vampire Mithras himself. But her childer, John Sexton, would not stand for her tyranny. With a ragtag group of kindred and the assistance of a secret organization dedicated to protecting those most harmed by kindred society, they rose up against her. In the end, Lydia Burke was overthrown. Her loyalists were either executed or vanished into the night, leaving the city in a precarious balance. The newly crowned Prince Sexton, his enigmatic seneschal, and his Bruja sheriff are trying to rebuild. But what will emerge from the ashes? Another reign of tyranny? Or does this strange trio have the support and strength to realize the dream? A new era of peace and unity for the kindred of Philadelphia. The future of this city hangs in the balance. Stay tuned for what happens next. Welcome, Neonates. And now, let the sun set on this city. Now, each of them, with the exception of one of our lovely Neonates, has had a introduction to Prince Sexton. Some more eventful than others. And, some may have walked away with a little bruised ego. But tonight, each one of them has been called back to the very courtroom in which they met him, as they have been summoned by their prince to form a new coterie to do his bidding. And this is where our story starts. Each of you has come into this room, the white, just pure marble that ornates the throne room. One of you being led by your Primogen, as you have not yet been introduced. Dr. De La Cruz, Primogen of the Malkavian clan of Philadelphia, leaves behind him one Dr. Boone Ripley. He stands before Prince Sexton, bowing. My grace, may I present the neonate Dr. Boone Ripley.
Prince leans forward and examines the neonate that stands before him. Dr. Ripley, your name's familiar. You've been a resident of this city for some time, have you not?
Boone looks very out of place, and I want to say nervous, but just like doesn't want to be here, but he's here because he has to be. Yeah. Yes, so I've been here for quite a while.
I don't know if it was wisdom or cowardice that kept your head beneath the radar during the war, but I am so very grateful that you are here now. You can very clearly see the prince has not affected the blush of life. His hands are gloved, rings over top of gloves. His predatory, near feral hazel eyes just lock onto you. So, have you finally come to serve your city?
He'll look at his Primogen with the most like, is that why I'm here type of look.
Let's get our first roll of the season off. Why don't you give me a wits and insight in our lovely dice channel? Now, you, the audience, can't see this unless, of course, you are members of our server who, unfortunately, we're not recruiting, but the other players can see this because we have a unified dice channel to use just for streams. All right. He gives you a look that obviously is like, yes, say yes. This is the correct answer.
And Boone will finally actually look up at John. And before he says anything, is John not blinking, breathing, or doing
No
none of that?
blinking, no breathing. He is bone white corpse.
Okay.
You can basically assume that any human functions that are autonomous, or we don't think about that, John is not doing it because he has not activated his blush. He looks like a placid corpse that is rather freshly dead, since he doesn't have certain banes.
Boone is suddenly very aware of the fact that he has to blink, and he is doing it very rapidly. And then he goes, "Yes, sir. I am here to. I am here to serve."
Good. Good. Then, in the interest of formality, I grant you hospitality in my city and what domain you can hold. Now, I look eagerly towards the future to see what your clan can bring to the table and how you can best guide us in our new night.
Good. Dr. Delacruz will step away, and shortly after this interaction, in walk 5 more familiar faces, led by the rather gruff doorman that each of them has come to meet, clad in his jacket and completely encased in his black helmet, comes before the prince, bows, "Your Grace, the others are here at your whim," and will exit back to his station at the door. And it goes without saying that each of you have been checked for weapons, none being allowed into the throne room of the prince.
Thank you all for honoring this summons. And as he says, honoring this summons, his eyes lock on Catherine Diadamo, the court's newest addition and wayward rose. It is my purpose this evening to have you all recite your coterie oath and receive your first assignment.
In fact, when the prince does lock eyes on Catherine, I do believe she has something for him, does she not?
Yes. She is carrying a bouquet of flowers that were wrapped in silver and blue paper and tied with a matching ribbon. They are blue hyacinths and lily of the valley.
Give me a charisma plus etiquette, and you can add an extra die for how your bouquet was done up.
Charisma, etiquette. Okay. Charisma.
All right. Well, Prince Sexton, this does seem like a yet rather genuine gift of apology from the once, for lack of a better term, we're going to use sassy Rose that came before you a few days ago.
John will accept the bouquet, look it over. Perhaps I will have some literature sent to your store. You could benefit from improving your language of the flowers. But this is a well-crafted bouquet all the same. Thank you for the gift.
And she'll nod and step back.
I likewise have a gift for one of your number. Mr. Pierce, step forward.
Thomas is going to step forward.
John will reach into the pocket of his coat and pull out a small jewelry box. Contained inside is a gold laurel wreath pin and a small note that I will let your ST tell you the contents of.
Yes. Where did we put that?
That should be in your notes.
Yes, it is. Are you sure?
Actually, it should be in the thread, the specific character thread.
Ah, there we go. That's better. Yes. This note would read, "Your mess has been cleaned. Signed, J.S."
Thomas is going to drop to one knee before the prince and bow his head. I am forever grateful, Your Grace.
I expect great things from you, Mr. Pierce. Great things.
I will endeavor to do so, Your Grace.
Good. And last but not least, to conduct you through your coterie oath, I would like to introduce you to your shadow.
And from the side room, somehow unseen, will step this very petite woman, seemingly of Puerto Rican descent, standing at about 4'11", dressed in a pure white suit that reeks of a almost pantsuit business type. She bows gracefully to John and then turns to the lot of you. My name is, and one moment, because brain just stopped on me. There it is. Valentina, I am to be your shadow for this coterie. You will do as I say. You will not question it. Where his grace's hands are tied, mine are free to do his bidding. So I bid you listen well and mind yourselves. She'll then clasp her hands behind her back and await John's giving of the coterie oath. And give him just a moment while he finds that, when I will drop the face of Valentina for you all.
The coterie oath would be read to you as follows. I, your name, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the honor and integrity of our coterie against all threats, internal and external, that I will uphold the traditions and values of our kindred brethren, and that I will prioritize the prosperity and safety of our city above all else. I pledge fealty to the duly appointed court of the Crown of Philadelphia and vow to provide my arms in times of war, my art in times of peace, and my service in times of need. I promise to defend our city against all that desire her harm with word, deed, and force. From this day forward, for as long as my crown allows, I am bound to be faithful, holding honor and courtesy above all, recognizing its leadership and authority in matters of our kindred existence. I will honor the autonomy and sovereignty of each member of our coterie, ensuring that no undue influence or control is exerted over one another through blood bonding or other means. So swear I in the presence of our fellow kindred and under the watchful eyes of our elders. May the darkness guide and protect us all.
Does any of the coterie at this time, characters speaking, refuse this oath?
No.
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 All right. Then welcome, Neonates. You are officially a coterie in the eyes of a city, bound to one another by deed. Yes.
Did I watch the Shadow take the oath as well?
Yes.
Understood.
And now, Prince Sexton, now that they are sworn in, I do believe you have a task for them.
I do. There has been a member of the court has gone missing. We do not have much in the way of information, only that he has seemingly vanished in the night. You may take personal interest in this, Miss Diadamo. After all, he is your Primogen. Joshua Crisp, also known as Strain. There was a sighting of an article of his near a cemetery, not far from here. But I would like you all to attend to this matter. Your shadow has the particulars. In the meantime, I have other matters of state to tend to. May darkness guide you all.
And you as well.
And with that, your shadow, Miss Valentina, will escort you out of the throne room into the foyer where the one they call the Spartan sits idly guarding the door. And another face, the whip of Clan Toreador, Miss Wendy Darling, stands, waiting for you all. Valentina greets her, and may you introduce yourself.
Oh, so you're still here then?
Of course. These are the newly appointed coterie of His Grace. Assigned to track down one Primogen strain. I believe the easiest course of action would be to search his haven first for more clues.
You're all entirely sure you want to go in there?
If we are to find his Grace's Primogen, then we must turn over every single stone.
I mean... all right, I guess. It's not like I could keep you out anyway. You just pick the locks. At least this way he gets to pretend to still have security when he gets back.
Indeed. From there, Wendy will exit, Valentina leading you all out to your various vehicles. Like, try to keep up and don't get pulled over, please. Wendy would lead you across town to, yes.
Looking about, Oscar will see, with his very thick Irish accent, so forgive the player for not having one. Did any of you need a ride?
Catherine
No,
would raise her hand.
Question for the ST.
Yes.
Does Moriarty recognize Oscar?
Why don't you... Let's see, Liam. Give me a wits and, let's say, streetwise.
Yeah, that's it. Wits and Streetwise.
Mm-hmm. Given the nature of how you might remember them.
Four successes.
Oh, most definitely. This is a familiar face to you, Mr. Moriarty. One from New York.
Mr. Sullivan.
And upon hearing his name, because he is, I don't know if everybody was paying attention and we did the whole introduction, but Oscar will turn and do the head tilt and squint. I'll be damned. Liam!
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you alive and relatively kicking. And
alive is generous. Yep.
Alive as us as we can get, right? So
more or less, yes.
Okay, so you need one and you Miss Diadamo. Feel free to does anyone else need a ride besides these two? My car is relatively big enough. I could probably fit one more person.
I can take others in my car.
Yeah, unmute, Took.
If maybe, and he looks very torn in between the two who just offer rides, and he goes, one of you, if you could.
Either way, there's two in my car already. So if you don't feel comfortable,
nope. And then he's gonna go with Thomas.
Recognizing the slight nervous energy. Yeah, no.
Just come ride with me.
All right. Well, loading up into the various vehicles, following Wendy and Valentina across the city to the west side, rather scarcely populated at that point, leading you to a nice-looking house, almost in the suburbs. Leads you inside. Why don't anyone who would like to, after entering, give me a wits and investigation. Yes.
Ryan, when we are outside, he will look to the shadow and the assembled and say, is anyone pulling security?
There is no need.
Okay. I look around and I try to gauge the reactions of everyone to the fact that we are doing a investigation. Does anyone seem comfortable, particularly comfortable with an investigation?
Why don't you give me a wits and insight?
You got it.
Because so far, oh yeah, no.
That's not me. That was Cook.
Yep.
That one's me, unfortunately.
I mean, seems like anybody else. However, Dr. Ripley, as you start pawing through things and checking this place out, it definitely seems like this place was either A, tossed, or B, there was a relatively large scuffle between at least two people.
Are there any signs of death of any kind?
There doesn't seem to be in here, but when you are checking this place out and investigating, you do find a secondary door that seems to lead into something, possibly a basement.
Whoever is closely behind him, he's just gonna go. I found a basement. He's just gonna go basement.
All right. Going down into this basement over these creaky set of stairs, each of them file down, unless staying upstairs, will lead you down into a greenery of sorts with powerful UV lights. Not enough to cause any kind of issues, but Oscar, you and Valentina both wince at this. They are rather bothersome for people of your heritage, or of the blood, rather. This is where Strain grew his crop.
Oh, so UV lights.
Yes.
ST.
Yes.
As we came in, and as Boone was searching, I pick somebody at random. I pull Moriarty over. I ask him, "Do you want to help me with something?"
Sure, by all means. What do you have in mind?
Help me as we look through this. We're gonna try and do this fast. I want you to mimic what I do, okay? I'll take it a little bit slow, then try and do what I do, okay?
Sounds reasonable enough.
Start at the opposite side of this doorway. And as we both start on the opposite side of the doorway, he listens and he looks and he smells odors of the room. He walks through checking fittings slowly from the ground up to the waist height. At the far wall, we start again and do it from waist to eye height. Where this room was scuffled, we try not to bump into stuff. Eye level to the ceiling. We check the furnishings and the fittings. And we check as things are thrown around. I hand him a disposable camera, and I say, just start taking pictures of the room. Let's see what we got. Take pictures of how things are. And hold still for a moment. First, I'd like to do a investigate check with any equipment bonus you'd like to give for me being incredibly prepared. And then I'd like to do a discipline thing.
Well, let me see something. All right. So, if I remember correctly, let me double check this merit because I know it does give you a bonus on stuff. Will be a 2-dot bonus. Or yep, 2 dot bonus to an investigation roll.
Okay.
Can I do
Like-
can I do an insight check on what Colin's trying to get at?
Absolutely.
2 dice bonus to my investigation, and do you
Yes.
want resolve for taking it
Uh,
slow?
Yes, resolve.
Not taking my specialty on this one. I'm taking it. I'm guessing.
Remind me of the specialty?
Profiling.
No,
Crime scene.
no
not a person.
specialty
Yep.
here. Mm.
Oh no!
Moriarty, do you want to take that insight check and do anything with it?
This is going to be in the Box of Doom channel. Oh Lord, what did you do? Okay, well, all right. I'm gonna roll my roll, unless you want me to wait.
Go ahead and do that, and we'll come back to this.
Yep, probably best.
I mean, you haven't spent any willpower tonight.
Burn the
Yeah,
candle at both ends
I'm
again.
gonna re-roll. I'm gonna burn a willpower.
All right.
Oh,
All
God.
right.
Made it worse. Made it worse.
Oh, excellent.
Oh no!
All right.
Automatically be a pass.
Yes.
Starting off strong tonight.
So you know what? I think I'm gonna willpower to see if I can find out even more information before and use this to build off of for my
Okay.
difficult thing. So I'm gonna
Absolutely.
re-roll.
Oh God.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we're gonna start with Moriarty. You are looking to see what Colin is getting at. Is Colin trying to hide his intentions at all?
Colin hasn't expressed himself, and he usually is a disseminating individual. Not a dissimulating individual.
Let's
but
put it this way: is he
I
trying
don't
to
think there's a way to
mask or
hide.
hide in anything about his intent?
No, his intent is to search the room as efficiently as possible.
And with that, I'm going to give you a little bit something extra as.
You know the power I'm about to use?
No, not yet. This is for Moriarty. So you have his intent, but also you could have sworn that you weren't just looking at him for a moment. Okay, for the investigation roll, with 8 successes on a critical, you comb this room up, down, left to right. There's a lot of magazines about growing and a lot of paraphernalia laying about the room. None of it seems tampered with. And it doesn't seem like this place was super tossed. Maybe they were looking for something but didn't quite find it. But it also looks like they may have been struggling to get somebody under control. There was definitely a physical struggle that knocked a bunch of things over. All right. And what power are we looking to use?
I would like to ask you if I can use that information to build off of, either get dice or change the difficulty as you see fit, to Dreams of the Past, my 2nd level of Auspex.
Auspex, Dreams of the Past.
That will be in...
Premonition, right?
No.
Premonition.
Is different. I will send it to you again in just a moment as I pull it up. No, not Unerring Pursuit. That is very much a different thing.
Because there are only 4 level 2 powers for Auspex.
I did send you the book that this is from.
Yep.
If you want me to
just
say it. Yep.
Ping it again so I can.
Yup. Sounded okay.
Stand by, because this is a special book. We have some exceptions to rules as written.
Based in my channel.
All right.
Just hammered it out. sent the whole sheet.
All right.
So you choose the difficulty. I was hoping that with the successes, it wouldn't be too high.
All right.
I'm trying to
Make
recreate
your
the crime scene.
make your rouse check.
This might be about to get interesting. AJ, not yet, but considering I was at Hunger 2, it might be about to be.
Yes.
Here we go, folks. Let's see if the magic happens. Or one kind of magic. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in business.
Hunger 3.
Oh
No, Hunger 2, right? Because you fed before this.
You're right. You're right, because I had my shake.
Slushy.
My slushy.
Protein shake.
I had a protein shake. So I went from Hunger 1 to Hunger 2. Thank you for the correction.
All
So
right.
not yet. By
Give
the
me
grace
the
of-
intelligence and aspects roll.
Any bonuses or penalties?
No.
Understood. Big money. Is the hunger before or after the rouse?
This one is the power goes before this. We did some reading. This counts as or it goes before, my bad. But even then, with 3 successes, you want to ride with that?
I'm not going to ride with that. I am going to select.
Make sure you select dice to reroll.
It did something and it didn't do the thing I wanted. All right.
All right.
Is there a way you can edit that? It only rolled 1 of the 3.
Just roll me 2 more dice.
Oh no.
All
I'm
right.
gonna miss 3.
Yep. So with 3 successes, this illusion that you cast out rebuilds the room into not much different. Seems he was a bit cluttered. Into the refabrication of how the room was before being tossed. Furniture's flipped back up, magazines put back on end tables or shelves. Doesn't seem a whole lot different.
No evidence of fight, blood. What have I got with my investigation? We can all walk around, all of us. This illusion is recreated for all of us. So you can't take anything, but we can sketch it. We can take pictures of it as it is.
And with this, you're not getting anything extra.
Damn.
There's nothing to be found.
Nothing.
You have dug as deep you can go. Now, switching to the group that followed down into the basement.
Yes.
This is, like we said, the grow room where, the La Sombra people kind of winced at the UV grow lights as they're a bit potent. But while you were all down there, the 1, 2, 3, 4 of you can either give me a wits and awareness or an intelligence and investigation as you look around.
Can Boone use sense the unseen, please?
Absolutely.
So I will. That's wits and aspects.
It's.
Would you like me to still just roll wits and awareness?
It's wits awareness, and you add your aspects rating.
Thank you.
Are we allowed to blood surge?
Absolutely.
Cool. I just wanted to ask first, so I can add that in there.
He said wits and awareness. Would I be able to use?
Or intelligence investigation.
Wouldn't be able to use my science specialty, would I?
Not for what I'm looking for right now.
Okay.
Maybe in a moment.
Okay.
Well, I'm not mad at that. 4 isn't bad. I'll take that.
All right. I see who the bot likes tonight.
Wits and awareness. Okay. So.
I don't know if that's good or not.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh
The
no!
blood surge, we just browse for the blood surge.
Oh,
There's a way to do it with the bot. Our lovely Fennec Wolf set it up in the how-to channels. I don't know if you've had a chance to actually look that over, but it counts as a rouse that increases your hunger on the next roll after this.
If it
Okay.
If it fails.
if it fails, yeah. Mine did not.
Would I be able to re-roll mine?
You have willpower, yeah.
Yeah, I do. Okay.
All right. I have one spent here,
Okay.
and I have one spent on this guy over here, and I have one spent on you now.
Which puts me at okay.
Okay. All right. I got 6, 4, 3. Did we get anything from Thomas, or is he just going down in there?
I don't know what I'm doing.
So if you're blood surging, make a rouse check. And then make either an intelligence investigation or wits and awareness.
Now I include my hunger.
Your hunger does not increase on this one. It's the next roll.
Okay. And then I hit the blood surge?
Yes, you get the blood surge no matter what.
Okay. Nope, it keeps telling me wrong.
Okay, so your hunger doesn't go.
Hold on.
It's 2 dice for the blood surge, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm missing because I'm being a ding dong.
All right. So 2 there. Did you want to spend any willpower to increase that at all? All right. So, Dr. Boone, Oscar, and Catherine, you all kind of notice this strange, writhing plant that just does not belong. It seems to be vines and leaves and ornate flowers that mesh in and around what seems to have been a plant of strange variety in the past, but has been morphed into something else. And Boone, with your 6, you can make a note that all the flowers seem to be pointing in the same direction.
Boone is gonna draw arrows on his hand and point towards the direction that they're all pointing, and then go, something's this way. And he's just gonna walk that way.
All right. So walking down through the basement, past row and row of plants and growing utilities, you come to a cement brick wall.
He's gonna like put his ear to it, knock on it. Is it hollow?
No.
No.
You get the thud, thud, thud of thick, normal cement.
He's gonna look towards the others and go, there's a brick wall, solid cement.
That
I see that.
it's not entirely out of the possibility we are in a basement.
Break it.
You want me to break it?
Break it.
Okay. So Oscar's gonna walk up and will shrug off the suit jacket, drape it across the chair, and will start rolling up his sleeves. And we'll look back at the shadow first and go, should I or should I not?
Valentina waves her hand.
All right, so he's going to activate prowess.
All right, which adds to your damage. Remember, that adds to damage, not the initial roll itself.
That's fine. It's more of adding the strength to the thing anyway. Okay. Oscar does get hungrier. So what am I rolling for to punch the wall?
It's going to be strength and brawl.
Okay. My specialty probably does not apply here.
No. No.
I'm
Not quite. Actually, potence, you are right, because it's a feat of strength. So you are going to add your rating.
Okay. Hold on, I need to change that number then. That is... I had to double check what that number is. I think it's 2.
You're going to tell him when he gets back that you authorized this, right?
Of course, Whip Darling. But what if somebody put him behind this wall?
Hey, Ryan.
Yes.
Around what time would myself and Liam get down there?
How much time do you put into this upstairs?
It would be a hasty search, no more than 15 minutes.
All right. So about 15 minutes later, you guys come down.
I am re-rolling, spending a willpower to re-roll.
Okay.
I think I'm just re-roll failures at this point.
Yeah, you only got 3.
And I probably should have said something before, but you're not going to want to touch the flowers.
There we go. 6 successes.
Yeah. So Oscar just starts punching, throwing haymaker after haymaker into this cement wall, creating probably about a basketball-sized hole, to which on the other side is solid earth, compacted dirt, rock. You can see a little worm wriggle out.
Question.
Yes, sir.
When Oscar is punching the wall, is he hurting himself? Like is his like bones breaking or skin kind of flying off or anything in that nature?
I have seen mortal men break concrete, so I'm going to say that a vampire with potence is not harming themselves.
Okay. Well, Boone doesn't know that, and he just kind of looks and he watches and he stares, and then he looks very disappointed that nothing happened,
right.
And then he goes, "Okay."
Yeah. While this is going on, are the other 3 downstairs doing anything?
Catherine's watching what's going on.
Right. And Thomas?
Thomas is just kind of keeping an eye on the stairs, making sure who's coming down is with them and not somebody else.
Well, towards the end of this happening, both Colin and Moriarty come down the stairs, these creaky wooden stairs that probably need to be replaced. Hard to be stealthy on these things, as they come down and see this large growing area.
I take it I noticed the plant.
Unless it's pointed out to you directly, you will need to make a roll for it.
What do you want?
It will be either wits awareness or intelligence investigation.
Okay, I'll take intelligence investigation. Would this be me walking in, examining everything? How would you flavor that?
It's like a quick glance, but given the nature of what's going on, I can justify this whole thing as kind of an investigation. Moriarty, you had a hand.
Can I roll wits and awareness just to kind of like get a scan of the room and hopefully
absolutely.
God,
right.
please say that's enough.
Yes, with 3 you are able to notice this semi-writhing plant, these ornate flowers and leaves, about 20 feet in one of the growing areas.
I know nothing about botany. I look over at it, and I look back at the woman who gave a bouquet to the prince. You ever seen anything like this?
Catherine's in the back part of the basement, so I don't know if it's a big enough area where they'd see each other.
How big is this area?
It's probably 40 feet long.
Okay.
This place has been extended with some special finances. Moriarty, with your roll, you clearly see everybody down at the other end and can hear the breaking of cement as somebody's just wailing away on it.
Did that
And-
wall do something to us personally?
It's in the way. That's why we're destroying. Yeah.
In the way of more dirt, more like. And Oscar's just dusting off his hands and then is putting the shirt back right and slipping back on the
Well,
suit jacket.
just because it's dirt doesn't
Right.
mean there isn't nothing there. And Boone is gonna take out a vial, and then he's gonna put some dirt from the basketball size hole in the vial. Research.
Okay.
Huh.
We'll make a note of that if you can throw it in your channel so we don't forget. Colin, you had something.
Would I happen to get a willpower back?
No. You
Fair
are
enough.
too late to witness this. You see the aftermath, though.
I caught them dusting off their hands. All right. Any shot I can get a recap of why this is happening?
No, you can go.
Have you seen what is actually I don't know how much Oscar would know about American literature, never mind.
Yes. Why were we punching the wall, Doctor? Since you were the one who suggested it.
Well, there was two reasons. The first one is I was really interested to see if the skin would detach from the fist and reattach itself, but unfortunately, Oscar's too strong, so that didn't happen. Secondly, all of the flowers are pointing in the exact same direction, and then he's gonna go and he's gonna show everybody the direction that it is pointing directly at that wall. And I don't know about you, but whenever I get a sign like this, it usually means that there's something in that direction, and I usually follow it. So, did that help explain everything, or did I miss some?
For me, at least.
Don't plants typically grow toward their light source?
Yeah,
Dr.
Colin looks straight up at where the UV lights are pointed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, normal plants normally do, but I figured that strain, no offense, was a weirdo. So, there has to be.
Malkavian says you're weird.
As the man's creator, I find it hard to argue with that sentence.
Philadelphia is one of the cities of all time, is what Colin would understand so far.
Catherine would just chuckle at that.
So, which is it going towards the UV light?
No, it is not.
Colin walks in a parabolic arc slowly and sees if it tracks his movement at all.
Nope. It
It's
stays
moving, right?
pointed towards that wall that they hit.
Okay.
It seems like moving is a strong word. It seems almost a undulating pulse from the vines, as if they were alive.
I'm gonna flick on it, sense the unseen. I'm not a botanist. I don't know if this is supernatural or not. This is not my specialty, so I'm gonna see if I don't have to make a rouse check. Nice. At least I don't think I do for this level 1. I add all specs to my wits awareness.
So sense the unseen will allow you to see if there's obfuscate with a wits plus aspects, but I can tell you right now there's nothing hiding in these shadows.
Okay. It won't let me know if there's anything unnatural, like
that is a different power.
Different thing. Okay. All right.
Miss Darling, I have a question, if you don't mind.
Oh,
So the plants are all pointing towards that direction where I asked Oscar here to punch a hole into the wall. And I have deducted for the simple fact that there is something probably very untoward behind all that dirt, or maybe in it. Was Strain interested in planting other things, like, I don't know, bodies?
you've clearly never met the Primogen, have you?
I have met none of you at all, and I have not seen another kindred in 15 years. So that.
Primogen strain is not the, he's not the violent sort.
Well, just because he isn't violent doesn't mean he can't steal bodies.
And in fact, I do believe there's one among you who has met the Primogen before.
Oh no.
Thanks for a second. When did Strain go missing? Was that told to us?
Several nights ago, probably about a week, maybe 2, was the last he was seen.
Is there an automated feeding station thing, like I don't know, for gerbils or something that like puts down food on a timer or something? How is this thing fed? How are any of them fed?
So, as you look around, you see a bunch of equipment. To identify it would be an intelligence science.
All right. Anyone good with...
I can do that.
Let me know if I can help at all. Tell me what to do.
Intelligence, science, and would the specialty come in now?
For botany, absolutely.
Okay. 8.
Oh, botany means plants. Sorry.
Yeah. Chuck, I love you. Oh, there you go. So, Catherine, you can look at this and tell that this is an automated misting system set up and on a timer, wired directly into the house's plumbing.
Okay.
With that critical, I can even probably give you that there's probably some homemade like Miracle Grow, but I wouldn't say anything like Kindred related.
So no ashes in the Miracle Grow or something like that.
No. It's like it's like Strain has done his research and like, okay, this from this pot or this from this, like how people will like find the best soil, like
For
same
each
thing.
plant.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Doctor, the Primogen wouldn't have to steal bodies. If he was looking for that sort of thing, all he'd have to do is talk to the Meals on Wheels.
Meals on. Oh.
Is that what the old people? I've heard about that. The old folks get their food dropped off on the doorstep, kind of, sort of.
And some of us do as well. Mostly it's for emergencies, but they're pretty much happy to deliver, well, just about any time. Of course, it does have a cost.
I imagine so. Service like that.
Right. Is there anything that, I don't know, like, did he buy this property on like an ancient burial ground or something? I don't know. I'm just trying to. No.
Is a feeding system attached to a computer of sorts for its tracking anything?
I would say it's a very basic setup. Nothing high tech, super fancy.
Okay.
It looks kind of piecemeal. You're like, how the hell did he get that to work?
Yeah.
How old does this basement look? Oh,
and
sorry.
Catherine is looking at the system as that, and she's basically muttering her breath, like, "How is this? Okay, I get that."
Yeah, it's very much like a Frankenstein setup. You're like, I don't know how you got this to work, but I'm very impressed that you did.
Exactly, and that's what she's showing, like, as if she's gonna try using it at her own shop, maybe, but.
Yes, dear Dharma, you seem quite perplexed by feeding system.
This shouldn't work at all. It's, for lack of better words, jerry-rigged.
The Primogen, he conducts his hobby much like bumblebees fly. We just have to take it on faith.
I can see that.
So he's broke.
He has been questioned on multiple occasions as to whether or not he's a member of your family, Doctor.
Oh, well, if that... Wait,
no,
what?
he's just very good at what he does, from what I can see here. Each system has its own drip feed. It's impressive, to say the least.
Is anything missing that you can tell?
With that roll, I can tell you that there's probably nothing missing from that.
Yeah, nothing at all. It's for all intents and purposes, a perfect system. It shouldn't work, but it is.
So,
Is-
is he very meticulous then?
Yes,
Is what I'm getting.
very much so. Each
Oh.
plant has its own setup, its own needs, its own watering schedule. He has it planned out. It's not one type fits all. It's each individual has its own needs, feed system, the whole bit. It shouldn't work, but it does.
I would
Um,
say less meticulous, more obsessive.
Oh, I know
That
obsessive.
works. That
It's
works
a
too.
family trait.
He's gonna now. Boone is gonna start looking for anything that would have been neurospicied to the extreme, such as things are put in certain orders. Maybe he is the one who put the plants in a certain way to remind him of where to go, or like, or where something might be, or something like that.
or a journal for
Or
how
like
he
a-
keeps
or a
track of
journal.
all of this.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Give me an intelligence investigation. I saw Oscar, you had something.
They already asked the question while they were having this discussion. Oscar was going to look around the room, see if there was a desk or
Right.
a ledger or anything.
You can give me that roll as well if you'd like.
It's
I'm
what's
gonna-
awareness you said?
Intelligence investigation.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
don't know how
blood
well-
surge on that one.
Okay. Colin.
Same.
All right.
Or I can assist somebody, or somebody can assist me.
I mean, up to you if you want to assist or do it on your own.
I can add an assist die.
I'll take it.
Sweet. So you get +1 on your roll.
I will take that. 8.
Do. All right, we got 4 there. We got 4 there. All right. Well, with both of those rolls, between the three of you, you're able to find this notebook sitting in a drawer. Opening it up, untying the little leather strap that it's bound with. Open it up. It's notes on crossbred this plant with this plant. No results here. Change feeding schedule on this day. But nothing that leads to anything special. It's probably what you would find with a normal grower. What's up, Oscar?
What is there anything that might indicate what the freaky special plant is going? That's what
There is.
Oscar's.
Exactly.
Thank you for asking, because there is not a single mention of that plant in this entire book.
There's a second book, or this is new.
This, maybe.
Why in
That would be.
why in the blue fog would he have no notes on this? This man is meticulous. This man, from what you tell me, has all of this down to an exact science. And that little fucker over there points to the plant, goes, is just existing. No, I don't like the look of that thing. It's pulsing. I'm not getting any closer because that light makes my skin itch. But just that. Why?
And Catherine's gonna step out. I don't recognize that plant either.
You've never
Quite
seen
a
it
few.
before?
Moriarty.
Moriarty's gonna get relatively close to the plant, and as he does so, he's gonna basically just kind of look back to everybody and just be like, if you wouldn't mind, please have my back in more ways than one, as he activates feral weapons.
Oh
Wait.
no!
Catherine's
Maybe
stepping
no,
way back.
Nope.
Okay.
Oscar will step behind him basically to catch him if he starts to go, or pull him away if it requires it.
And Catherine's stepping
All right.
back, but she knows better.
So give
Thomas is
me.
going to have his gun ready.
All right.
Yep.
I like this.
Yep.
I like where this is going.
Boone is
Catherine's-
stepping forward, like, hold on, don't touch. And yeah,
And Catherine's stepping out of the way because she knows better than to try to get away because she can't do anything.
First, I need the rouse check from Moriarty. There we
Already
go.
done.
Got it. So you activate your feral weapons, and these long, elongated claws come out of your fingertips.
and he's just gonna just kind of just tilt his head and just kind of investigate the plant a bit more closely.
Poke it with a
All right.
stick.
Let's see.
Catherine's going to look about to see if there's any tools that they can use instead.
I mean, you find
Uh-oh.
normal shears and whatnot. Nothing special.
Anything that's long enough to poke at it and safely.
Some like wooden growing dowels, like when you need to tie a plant up so it grows
Yeah.
a certain direction.
She's going to see those like, should we poke at it with this instead to keep ourselves safe?
Now, okay. Well, before we go on poking and slicing, let's think about it. Now, Miss Catherine,
See?
is your do you have you ever seen like maybe a plant that takes in vitae or like blood?
Not that I am aware of.
Now, if that is the plant that might do that, matter of fact, Moriarty, yeah, go ahead, touch it.
You know what? We're not going to stop him now. Just poke it. Yeah, no, but Oscar is within arm reach of
Catherine-
Moriarty that if he were to get grabbed or something happened to him, Oscar would just pull him away because potence does last for the round last for a scene. So
And Catherine's stepping way back to make sure.
Colin's going to be around where Liam is.
All right. So we got Colin and Liam by the plant. Everybody else is kind of like taking a, we don't know how this is going to go. Step back.
Well, I'll take one step.
Catherine's going to take steps back onto the stairs.
If Moriarty looks like he's going to commit violence upon the plant, Whip Darling is going to blink in front of him to take the blow rather than the plant.
Oh no, he's not going to. He's not going to slice the plant, or he's effectively just got so because he just kind of looks around to everybody, just kind of like, just in case, I'm not going to slash the plant.
Touch it.
I like that they're paranoid. Makes me happy. All warm and fuzzy.
But he does get his fate like as close to the plant as he can, and he's just gonna try and like see if he can divine anything from being close to it. See if it reacts to proximity.
It doesn't seem to do anything as you step toward it. Even if you reach out a hand, it doesn't move any differently. So that slow pulsing, undulating rhythm.
Hey, Catherine, right?
Mhm.
Can I have that wood dowel?
And she'll grab one and pass it over to him.
I'm gonna gently take the stick and start pushing it into the dirt and see if there's anything underneath it. Anything other than root.
So you push down. It feels like getting around some roots through what seems like rather normal damp soil, well kept, till you reach the bottom of the container and the table.
How big is this container? It's not like it could hide a person or anything like that.
No, it's like a regular potted plant, kind of a ceramic container.
Worth a shot. I pull it back and I look at the soil. Not like it's covered in blood or anything like that. The rod that was submerged.
In fact, there does seem to be some kind of substance that resembles vitae on this rod.
Vitae has a different liquid viscosity than normal human blood, right? Like ours. Okay, so we can visually. We're used to that. Okay. That's something.
Oscar.
With Bloodhound, can he smell the resonance that is on the stick?
Yes. Let me remind myself of which one this is. This is a strong, melancholy, dyscrasia.
Oh. Yeah, no. Oscar's eyes go a bit wide. That is really, and we'll kind of scrunch his nose up a bit, a very intense melancholy, but it's not just a resonance, it's a dysgracia. That is powerful, whatever it is.
Oh.
I can smell it.
Oh, we smell at things.
But
He
it's
also
a thing.
He also has bloodhound. Does he smell that?
With the bloodhound merit, you will smell this.
And then he'll also.
It's a bit potent, isn't it?
Mm.
Do you smell that blood anywhere else in the room?
Oh yeah, is that a thing?
Question.
Can we
Is it
kind
in
of
any of the other plants?
No. Just this one.
Can you smell how old that blood is?
Oh, can we?
With the bloodhound merit, no. It only allows you to smell the resonance and the intensity.
All right.
Oh,
Take two.
hole
Or
in the
maybe.
wall. Hole in the wall. Does it
Nothing.
have it? Okay, cool. I just wanted to double check because it's one of those. If it's there, it's there. But yeah, it's relatively fresh enough, though. That's the thing. Is if we can smell it, that means when it was put there, it's not been very long for it to still have a smell.
Looking at the soil, and I ask if Catherine can walk me through how this works, the irrigation system. The blood did not come from this, she said, right?
And Catherine
did
could
blood
easily
get there?
deduce that blood did not come out of this irrigation and misting system.
No,
How
the
would you
blood,
put it
no.
in?
It would likely be either fed from the top or possibly reverse feeding. Some growers like to submerge their plants in water in the pot, but it depends. It could have just been poured right in. I don't see. Does Catherine see anything that, for lack of better words, look like an IV setup?
Nope.
Like if you're okay. It likely there's no IV setup to feed it into the soil from the bottom, so likely poured right on or spilled right on, or however you like to put it.
Then the next question might be, where is the container? No matter what shape it is, since this man seemed not the most organized from upstairs. Is it in a trash can somewhere? Was it thrown out upstairs that I saw?
Why don't we see where the next feeding schedule is meant to be, and we can deduce things from there. Likely he would have did it right beforehand. And Catherine would like to see the book that the feeding schedule's in for the other plants, and maybe deduce that maybe one of them was watered during the same time this was fed weekday, if that makes sense.
Looking through this book in the notes, you can see that it's Thomas. What's up? Before I continue.
I'm going to say, Doc, why don't you take a sample of that pot? Compare it with the other stuff that you got.
The dirt or
yeah.
Before you even get all of the sentence out, he already has like multiple vials and like just a lot of weird shit just in his hand. And he's like,
Never mind, you're on top of it.
Mm-hmm. He's going to go over and...
All right. Just taking soil samples.
Yes, especially the bloody parts.
Okay.
Because that is,
So looking through this book, you are able to see that there's about every 5 hours, there's a misting routine that goes on, and the tables are staggered every hour. So there's 5 rows of these. Every hour, it's the next table until it recycles back to the first.
Okay. Are any of them about to come on now?
One has about 30 minutes before the next timer.
Okay.
Is the row close to the plant that we're looking at?
No, it will be the very last row before it recycles the 5-hour timer.
Ah, gotcha. Cool. Just curious.
Colin.
About that willpower. Feral weapons.
Yes. Thank you.
Second thing. The plants are pointed in a specific direction, right?
Correct.
So the flowers specifically are facing a specific direction.
Mm-hmm.
The dowel. Did I originally poke it down in that direction, you'd say, or just a random one of the other three directions, if this is a pot, like a square pot,
Just
is what I was imagining.
one of the random directions.
Is it darker if I insert the dowel and pull it back up, like the feeding happens over this angle, where
No.
the flowers are facing?
You could do all four sides. There's no change in the
No change.
consistency, viscosity, nothing.
Strange.
How is the plant
center.
reacting to the roots being poked at?
It doesn't seem to flinch at it.
It might be like a pet and it's been socialized, it's used to being handled.
Assuming that strain keeps the pet in all of this, keeps it as a pet. I don't. For him, this doesn't make sense. Like making sure, like, you know, are there any speakers in the room?
No, not that you guys have seen.
Okay.
Any electronics at all?
Other than the setup for the plant feeding system, no, not really. There's the overhead lights that are casting the specialized UV stuff for growing anything in the botany realm. The feeding filtration system. But no, nothing much else than that.
Ryan, up, Liam.
Oh, I see Moriarty's hand up there.
The wall that all these plants are facing.
Mhm.
Are there any fixtures to it, like hooks or?
It seems like this blank, like I don't know about where you are, because I know you're our international friend here. But here on our side of the pond, anybody that's ever had that basement that just has that far wall that's just completely blank, it's just a cement wall to put the
Unfinished
end of the
basement.
basement in.
Hmm.
There's nothing fancy to it.
This room is 40 meters by 40 meters by 40 meters. I'll just square.
It's about 40 feet by about 20 feet. It's cramped for what he's put in here.
The door was hidden, correct?
The which door?
This was a hidden door to get into this area, or it was
No.
obscured somehow? Oh no,
There's just
normal
a door.
leading downwards. Okay. Does this place look tossed the same way that upstairs was?
Some of the plants, or at least the containers, do look shifted as if they were bumped into with a little bit of force.
Have I seen, or have the others with bloodhounds seen any dots of blood, any long streaks of blood, any signs of struggle, other than somebody shifting things around and lifting things, somebody strong like Oscar? There's a
Now,
difference between searching and fighting.
with you guys looking like this, you now notice there's a little dried strain of what looks to be like was once vitae that runs down the outside of the pot and along the table.
It's time again. Now it's another chance. So I am going to do, or we can count this as another resolve investigate as I just walk the perimeter in a spiral. I check
Okay.
all the plants, and after that, I'm gonna do the same thing. So resolve investigate followed by the same deal, which will be a Rousey boy. So we're going to throw some bones. Because click clack. Hunger is currently 2. We gonna see. We gonna learn today.
Oh,
We got something. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ooh, that got
5.
close.
Uh,
All right, yeah. You would, with that investigation, you would be able to pick up a trail of blood leading from this strange plant along the edge of the table, down on the floor, and up to the stairs, to where it seems to stop about halfway up.
I walk again, one more circuit, and then I walk to the stairs, and then I trigger Dreams of the Past.
All right.
It's
That
time
is
for
your intelligence and aspects.
Got to do something else first.
Yes, arouse.
Hey, I made it this time.
Ooh, safe for now.
Oh god.
Keywords
Intelligence and
there.
aspects. You don't have to deal with the smell yet. 6, hunger of 2 currently. Unacceptable. I have to do better than that. I'm going to reroll failures.
Remember, when you do the select reroll, you do select reroll and then click the 3. Otherwise, you could risk rerolling more than 3 if there is.
I'm trying to click the 1 and then the 2 and then 3. That
Click
should
on the
all-
drop down.
You click on the drop down again.
There you go. So with 3 successes, it's not as good as before, but you were able to recreate this basement growery, this green room, if you will. And in this illusion that you bring up the past with, this plant is not there. All the things are moved. The blood trail is gone. And everything seems to be in its place.
What?
And everyone can see us, right?
We can't take anything out of this area, but where that other journal was, in that drawer, I want to open that drawer and any other drawers.
All of that seems the same as what you found here.
Damn.
While they were doing that, Bonus crisscross applesauce on the floor, where no one can step on him or anything. And he is examining the blood because that is his specialty.
All right. You'll have to wait for the illusion to dissipate.
Yep. He's kind of pissed off about that, but he's not going to say anything.
That plant, what is in the place of where that plant should be?
A regular medicinal THC producing plant.
Does it play like a movie, kind of like recreating a small scene, or does it just like, do we see how happens to how it gets here, who does it, type of thing?
It recreates the scene at a certain
Like
moment
a
in
snap,
time.
like a snap of a
a
picture.
snapshot.
Okay.
You can take pictures of this. You cannot carry anything out of this area. We're also sketch stuff, but again, nothing is retained once the illusion ends at the end of the scene. That goes for upstairs too.
I wish we just knew whose blood did this.
Excuse me, everything changed. Am I going crazy?
No.
Okay.
Someone did a thing. I'm assuming that one wants to call him.
Helps with looking into things that happened.
Okay. I'll wait then, I guess, because I can't see shit no more.
The wall is back to what it used to be before it was cratered. The plant's been normal. Can I tell we're underground? Is there any way, like the feeding system, the irrigation system, to tell what time this is now? When the snapshot, or any clocks in the basement, anything like that?
There are no clocks. There is a timer on the feeding system, which seems to be about an hour before the cycle, or about 45 minutes before the cycle reboots and kind of recycles into itself.
Blood spilled. Blood got into the plant. This is a side effect of the scuffle. He did not go peacefully.
I'm gonna take a look at that wall.
Let's
See
see.
if there's more at it. Then we'll walk over to the wall, away from the light type of thing, assuming that this is away from the light type of thing. And it's just
Right now, you see the like the normal wall before you would have hit it because of the
Yeah.
illusion.
Yeah, no, we'll wait for the illusion to dissipate, but Oscar is going to want to look more into that wall.
I take pictures of how the room looks now, without the bloodstains.
Okay.
I invite Liam to do the same with the disposable camera I handed him. And once I'm reasonably sure that I have gone over everything I can and gotten pictures of Spider-Man, of everything possible, I am going to let the illusion lapse again.
All right. The illusion falls, the hole back in the wall, the strange undulating plant in the blood trail returns, and the room finally dissipates back into how you have all interacted with it.
I walk to the stairwell.
All right.
And I look for
Let me
bloodstain.
get the others in here for a quick. For Boone, your blood trail is back. I know he was waiting for that to come back.
Yes. Examine what is weird
Alright.
about the blood and stuff.
I mean, even without an investigation roll, it looks like it was vitae, perhaps dried up.
Okay. Well,
Uh,
is there any? He specifically want to see if because he doesn't have all of his equipment that he normally would have. But at the moment, is there any? As he'll take a white glove and he'll like put some of the dirty blood into his in between his fingers and kind of check the viscosity of it. That's
yeah. Doesn't seem like anything outside of the usual.
It isn't biting or reacting, isn't moving on its own, or nothing weird like that. Okay.
No, you're not looking at any like
Venom?
symbiote Spider-Man stuff.
Hey, I had to check. Okay. Fucking with you.
I like it. I love it. But no, this is just regular vitae.
Okay, cool. I got paranoid for like 5 seconds.
What's up, Moriarty?
From the blood trail, does there appear to be any vitae on the stairs leading out of the basement?
Yes, it goes up about halfway up the stairs before it stops.
Now that's curious. So did he stop bleeding as he came down here? Or did he try to go up and then was forcibly carried out? And Moriarty is saying this out loud.
He could have been staked. Yells across the room.
And maybe Colin.
I look for, in the event that someone laid something on the stairs to drag this person up, tarp of fabric, anything in the stairs, any fibers that would have been left.
Nope. Nothing to insinuate that he'd been dragged up.
Carried up, probably, if anything. So it's when you say standing at the wall, Oscar is going to be kind of looking at the whole. So you said there's solid impacted earth on the other side of this, right?
Yep.
Okay. So Oscar is going to look, kind of call over his shoulder. Hey, Miss Diadamo, do you have another one of those wooden dowels?
See, and then she'll grab one and bring it over.
Yeah, he'll reach up over his shoulder, grab it, and start kind of poking, like doing the insert kind of thing and testing like how solid it is packed in there, if there's anything weird about it, if there's anything gross on the stick when he pulls out the stick.
Nope, seems like normal dirt. There's nothing special, no vitae on it, no other chemicals, just dirt.
Why in the...
Put your hand in it. Just do it.
If it gets ripped off, I'm going to blame you, and Oscar will just kind of like taking off. It's kind of just going to roll up his sleeve a bit and then just go
Yep.
like
You-
wrist deep into the.
Yeah, with Oscar's strength where it is, I can safely assume like punching into it, not a big deal. Like it's uncomfortable, doesn't touch anything, you don't hit anything, you come out with a dirty arm.
Oh,
What
This
other rooms are in this building? Is
Uh,
it just the basement and the normal ground floor?
It is a single floor place, so you can assume that it has a family living room, a kitchen, probably at least a bedroom, and a bathroom.
Did we search the entirety of the ground floor?
Just the living room so far.
Time to check out the bedroom.
All right. As I assume Colin takes off and goes back upstairs.
I grabbed somebody. If Liam doesn't object, I'd like to have him with me.
Liam will come up, and while Colin investigates the bedroom, Liam is going to go to the kitchen.
All right. You guys can give me separate investigation rolls.
Investigation, intelligence and investigation, yeah?
Correct.
That's not what I want.
No, I don't accept that.
All right. So that
I am going
brings-
to re-roll some failures. Go to 3.
Yeah, I'm also
Alright.
going to re-roll.
Just noting that I'm at the WP3 currently.
Yep.
Here we go.
And another one for Moriarty.
And that leads me down
Up
to
then.
2.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, neither one of you find anything. Minus like there's some bagged blood in the fridge.
Clem.
Any signs of struggle up here?
No, actually. Not in the bedroom or the kitchen.
What are the remaining rooms?
A bathroom.
All right.
But
Guess
meanwhile,
I'm
those that remain downstairs, what are we doing?
Thomas is going to wander over to Oscar. Would you go tell the plant girl to try talking to it?
And will gesture to the fact that she is less than a foot from him at this point. You mean the woman standing right here? Are you not really capable of doing the talking bit?
Are we not
Yes,
speaking
I
to
talked to
our
her.
wife?
Wife.
from
Catherine's
across the
going
room.
to give Wendy a look, but is going to keep her mouth shut.
I guess the word hasn't gotten around. Anyways, if I talk to her, it's not going to be nice.
Oh, good to know that you're so polite, as per usual with the members of your family. Anyway, Miss Diadamo, Senora, would you do me the honor of maybe trying to talk to it, as our the boy in blue has suggested?
I can try that. Since you're so polite to ask.
Yes, no.
And she'll go over to the plant and
He
Knock it
will shadow
close enough
her
to-
the same. Yeah.
she'll go over to the plant and just kind of smile at it because she often talks to the plants in her own shop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Aren't you a beautiful love?
Yeah.
And we'll kind of walk around it. And you're growing so well. Joshua must be proud of you. And she's saying nice
yeah.
little sweet things like that to the plant.
Nothing seems to change. There's no stimuli, no movement. None of the flowers turn at all. Nothing crazy like that. They remain pointed in that one direction.
It's not doing anything if that's what you're thinking.
Could you try turning it and see what happens?
I make a habit of not touching plants I'm not aware of their origin.
I meant not the plant directly, but I meant the pot itself. Could you turn the pot, or should I? I can.
How heavy is the planter?
It's heavy, but not heavy enough to where like a couple of you couldn't spin it if that's what you're trying to attempt.
Catherine would die like, I would try, but I'm not very strong. If one of you don't mind.
Oscar will turn the plant.
Yep. So as you turn this plant, and is there a certain direction you're trying to point the flowers in?
Turning it to more facing not the wall, but like direct,
direction.
like like kind of like instead of this way, turning it.
Okay, so like
this way.
So about a 90-degree turn.
Yes.
So as you do that, you see the flowers kind of just shift to point back to that wall.
That's interesting.
What is it? What is it? What?
Colin.
We've checked everywhere upstairs. Do you want to do a roll for the bathroom, or?
I can tell you flat out that there's nothing to find there.
Nope. We come back. I come back down after checking that Liam. Okay. Hey, just in the future, I was asking if you could keep an eye on me. Try and stay in pairs at minimum.
Yeah.
Anything?
Sure. I don't have any objections to that. Any particular reason why?
Should always have somebody around you. If one of us goes missing in a room, that would be problematic. And that would also violate our oaths if one of us just suddenly
Have each other's backs, effectively.
Work with the oath that we were given about that whole autonomy and make sure nothing undue happens to each other. Did you find anything?
In the kitchen, no. I only saw a fridge full of blood bags, which I thought was pretty clever.
Normal. Presumably it's maintaining while we look for him. If we'll head downstairs. There's no attic to this place, Ryan?
No.
All right.
At best, you might have a crawl space, but nothing you could climb up into, store stuff in.
There's no upstairs.
But I would say you two come back downstairs as you have seen Oscar kind of shift this plant, and the flowers aim themselves back at that wall.
I look at the plant. I look at Oscar. I look at the Malkavian Dr. Boone. Huh.
Can I help you with something?
Why did it do that?
I do not know. I'm beginning to think we're going to have to dig through this damn wall.
Why?
Boone will look up and see the plant has moved itself, and then Boone will stand up, collecting all of his stuff and putting it back in his various different pockets, and he will look in the direction as the plant is looking.
Yep, right back at that wall.
His eye will twitch. He is getting frustrated. Okay.
I stand behind the plant, and I look directly 100% straight up at where the wall is. I have a thought, everybody. I don't think it's a good idea. Plant
Do
would be
it.
closer to the wall.
Put it.
You're You're an expert, aren't you, in botany?
See, but this is not something I know about. I don't
Are-
recognize this plant.
A plant is a plant. You don't think you could take a cutting of it? See where it's pointing? It's clearly not pointing at the brick.
You've investigated the wall. You've investigated the dirt under behind it. That doesn't seem to have anything to do with it, but they do seem interested in that direction.
All
So
right.
it's state that while there may not be anything in this basement, there may be something of interest in that direction.
I need two other
All right.
people. Catherine and Liam, since I know your names the most. Would you be willing to hold 2 pieces of cuttings, and I'm going to hold a cutting, and we are going to try and
I-
triangulate where it's going. By the 3
Like
of us
a
walking around the
compass.
room.
Boom.
Something like that. More like 3 points point in a single direction, and we walk towards it.
Triangulation.
If I can have a glove first.
He pulls out a thing of nitrile glove.
If it was in the room, don't you think you would have found it by now?
Boone is gonna go back upstairs and out of the house.
Okay.
Thomas is going to follow Boone.
He is getting very irritated.
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
Thomas is just going to follow Boone.
All right.
Oscar's going to go with Catherine, wherever she decides to go.
Yeah, once she has gloves on, she will talk softly. Sorry about this. And being as the flowers that are moving, she will, I guess, have found the right tools to be able to take a cutting.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to find some trimming shears. Like you have to trim off some, dead leaves or pods that aren't blooming. You would be able to take a snippet of it if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah. So she
So
would have taken a
as
small snippet.
you take a snippet off, are we going for a leaf, a flower, a piece of the
A
vine?
flower with a long enough stem to
Okay.
be able to hold it.
So as you cut this stem of the flower, you notice that out of both ends of it kind of seeps this acrid vitae, but it's slightly darker, like it's beginning to taint or perhaps rot.
This, and she'll start holding it out away from her like that doesn't seem proper.
It smells
And she'll look at, and she'll look over to Boone. Wait, he already went upstairs, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He left.
Okay. She'll hold it up and I don't like the look of that, but I have it now. Let's go upstairs and see if it leads anywhere.
Yeah,
See,
let's see
Moriarty
if
has
we can follow
something.
it.
Moriarty just watches all of this happen, and he's trying to observe if the flower stops pointing in that direction once it's been cut.
Yes, it would. As you separate it from the vine, it seems to lose that magnetic
Pick up
angling towards that wall.
We're going to have to take them by the pot.
Oh,
We can't exactly walk around with a... Wait a minute. Who has a van?
I've got a car. I don't have a van, but I have a car.
Damn.
Is it big enough to? Is your guard going to hold this though?
It should be completely fine. Especially if it's just a select few people.
Drive around the city. We follow you, and plant maybe point somewhere.
Yeah,
An
seems
idea.
a good idea as any. And Oscar will slowly, say, "Do you have any more of the?" Nah, screw it. We'll reach out and grab it,
Okay.
and just pick it up and be like, "I'm sorry about this. We're gonna go on a trip." And he's gonna walk up the stairs slowly, kind of with the plant sort of out in front of him.
All right.
Yeah.
So you walk back out to the cars with this potted plant, assuming nobody else has anything they want to do.
Yeah.
When
Just walk
Boone
by it and try and block line of sight.
when Boone and Thomas get out and they're alone before the rest comes up,
Okay.
Boone will just go, "Wife."
Laugh?
Yeah, wife. I heard wife. You married.
Wife. No. No, she is not my wife.
Okay. So the flowers are pointing in a direction and obviously is not in this house. And that's when he turns, he sees everybody carrying fucking plants out of the house.
Yeah,
He goes,
you see Oscar with it in the pot, just has the pot out sort of in front of him and is walking towards his car with it.
he's like, wait, we could just walk. I don't know why we need to get in. I just don't want to get in the car.
I understand. We're not carrying around a massive unnatural plant.
Oh,
I am literally trying to block the line of sight of it.
You have a point. Yeah. Why don't someone just put, I don't know, a sheet over it?
Because then we
I
would
will
then see.
instruct the thing.
Well, you can lift it and see which direction it's going. Or it'll
get in the car.
point where it's going.
Quick question, ST, real quick.
Mhm.
With it, would I be able to make a stealth roll of sorts with my added thing from Shadow Cloak to make sure that this plant isn't just OTFing while we're walking about?
Well, Shadow Cloak.
Yes.
You mean
It does
Cloak
add-
of Shadows?
No, Shadow Cloak.
Oh, Shadow Cloak.
Yes.
From
It's
the spicy
one dot-
discipline.
Yeah, no, from Oblivion,
Yep.
the first one.
Yes. That is a free 2-dot bonus for you.
Yep, cool. So am I rolling Dex and Stealth?
Dexterity and stealth.
Do they get
Okay.
any bonus from me, like trying to block line of sight along the street if I walk in one direction?
No, in fact, if anything, that would be weird.
Fuck.
It's-
That's fine. You do some dice, cool.
It would be like your buddy, like, don't look at this, don't look at this.
Yeah, I was thinking more like you just walk alongside the plant and try and block it with your torso, but Colin's not a big guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to track where hunger is at for Oscar. Pardon me. I'm sorry. I'm scrolling up a bit.
Oscar is at 2.
Okay, cool. That's fine. I just need to double check that. And
Okay.
cool. Let's see what we've got. 3. I'm gonna spend a willpower because I don't want to. Give me that. Hey, 5 successes.
Nice.
All right. You are able to stealth this thing into your car.
Who all is riding in Oscar's car?
Catherine will.
Okay.
Liam.
Boone wants to stay close to the plant. So.
Okay, so Oscar Oscar's car is full now at this point because it's Oscar and Catherine, Liam and Boone. The pot is going to sit in someone's lap, so it's going to look over at the men because Catherine has already stated the fact that she doesn't want to lift it. Will you hold this and figure out where the direction is going to point?
I can do that.
Excellent.
Can I sit in the front?
Sure, I don't give a shit.
Okay.
All right. So as you load this up, we are going to pause that for all of you right there. We are going to give these lovely players about a 7-minute break, and we will be back after that so they can shake out their legs, get their snacks, use the restrooms however they need to, and we will be back in just a bit. Welcome back. And here, we're going to do a little bit of a thing as we have our players check in the channel that we've been using tonight. Because they've had some things happen. So, players, please drop those emojis for me so we can get on with your story. Four. Two, three, four, five. Mr. Pierce. I need that emoji.
Oh. Didn't have it up.
All right. Good to go. I'm getting a little bit of background noise from somebody, but all right, there we go. All right, as our lovely neonates have brought this plant up to their vehicle, assumingly setting it in one of the back seats as Oscar has carried it up and out of the Primogen's residence.
It's in the front seat in Boone's lap.
All righty. So we have that. And where do we head from here?
The direction is like we'll look. Oscar will, before he will start the car to go in a direction. We'll see where the plant is pointing.
All right. So this wall faces the east, or the wall faces the east, and now the plants have kind of faced east, out towards like New Jersey and Kensington Place.
Wait, Kensington?
Yeah. Everything.
Oh,
You guys are on the west side of the city.
okay, cool. So Oscar will start slowly, kind of make like leisurely, like casually, like following the speed limit, just drive
Okay.
in the east direction and see, expecting that as he takes off, says that thing changed direction. Tell me in a timely fashion, so I'm not driving like a madman throughout the city.
Okay.
Looks like
Okay.
it's going off the direction of neighborhood I'm familiar with, though.
That's good. Do we have to worry about anybody not liking you in that
No,
neighborhood?
no, I'm well liked enough. I quick question: how long has time passed between those session 1 and or session 0.5 and now?
Only about a couple nights.
Okay, so this only been there a few nights, so nothing untoward has happened yet.
Oscar hasn't had time to make enemies just yet.
Moriarty, knowing Oscar and what he does, knows exactly what that tone of voice meant and basically conveys that in the undertone of which he speaks. Hasn't been here long enough for anything untoward to happen yet to earn enemies, so.
All right. I'm assuming the rest of you are loading up into various vehicles and following Oscar.
Yeah.
Catherine
Correct.
would have went into Oscar's vehicle, sitting in the back seat behind him.
All right. So, driving east, following the direction of these pointed flowers, as you cross past the Tower Theater, Clark Park, you can see the Philadelphia Museum of Art off your left shoulder as it passes by, illuminated as always in the dark, giving it that amber glow that you witness every time you are either needing to see the prince or are forced to speak to the prince. Hopefully we do more of the former, less of the latter.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
But as you get by, Boone, since you're holding this, you do see these flowers start to shift.
He'll direct promptly that way.
So the way he directs you leads you onto 95 north.
Okay.
But they're still almost kind of angled off to the side, almost directing at the river.
Okay.
But it seems like they're pointing upriver.
Up the Schuylkill, you mean?
Is that the Schuylkill?
Is it some
That is
tributary?
the Delaware. The river that draws the line between Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Oh. So, are we leaving PA if we keep going in that direction?
You start to get to a point where like you are about to leave Philadelphia and then get into some more northern territories. As you pass the northeast Philadelphia airport up into Cornwall Heights or Cornwells Heights.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing is still pointing as if possibly tracking something up the river.
Oh,
But
boy.
it's to the point
question.
where if you guys continue further, you will be outside the prince's domain and his protection.
I was about to
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah, Oscar's going to slow down at that point because I feel like Oscar is familiar enough to know where the lines are, at least has made himself familiar.
Yeah.
Is going to slow down and go, if we keep poking in this particular direction much further, we are going to be out of the domain and out of the prince's protection. Quick question, did we get the Shadow's information?
Yeah, we absolutely hand wave like she would have handed you guys that contact info.
Yeah. So Oscar's going to call her.
Right.
As he's kind of stopped and parked, kind of like we'll pull off in a parking lot of some sort. We'll stop and call her.
All right. One sec. Colin.
I've been following in a car. Has the Shadow and Wendy Darling been following?
No, they have left you guys to investigate this.
If we pull over just as a group, that is something we could do.
That's fine.
Thomas is following Oscar.
I'm following the caravan.
All right. So, Oscar, you pull off, maybe even taking an exit and getting down into a parking lot. So you're not on the side of the highway looking weird.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to say you guys have the wisdom to, like, hey, let's not have a 4-car caravan on the side of the highway.
Yeah, let's not.
Let's not. So pulling off into probably a Wendy's parking lot, because that's the first thing I see over here. Calling up the Shadow.
Yep.
Yes, this is Valentina. How may I help you?
Hi. Yes, this is Mr. Sullivan. I've got a bit of a conundrum with that the fancy greenery that we picked out from the basement is leading us in a direction. However, it is taking us outside of the prince's domain and therefore its protection. Do you wish us to keep going and find out where this leads, or drop it for now?
My advisement would be not to leave the prince's domain. There's been rumors of a new anarch setting up shop. I'm not sure where the border is quite yet. And there's always rumors of Sabbat in the area. And outside of the prince's domain, we lack the resources to get to you in time should something happen.
I don't want to have to do with Sabbat tonight. So just, we know where it's going and we'll list the direction it's going off in. But I can't, beyond that, we may have to, I don't know. I don't know exactly what we're going to have to do, but I do know it's at least going that direction, and it's still pointing that way as if it's tracking something. It's tuned to something.
Bring the greenery back.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what we're going to do, but I very highly doubt that this is going to help us find Mr. Strain at all. If it does, or it just bodes ill of what we may find if we find Strain in this direction. I will go as close to the border as I can without actually breaching it, and then we can head back. Is there a place we need to meet when we come back into town? Or?
She will give you an address. not far from the Philadelphia Museum of Art. It is down south of Bartram's Garden.
Okay.
She notes this as your coterie haven, to which I will post an address for you guys later this evening.
Okay, cool. So Oscar will say, we'll meet you there once we're done here. And we'll click, hang up, and then turn to the group. All right. We can't travel much further here. We will leave the Prince's domain, and they don't have the resources to get to us in time. So what I'm going to do is track it as close to the border as I can, and we will stop. We will have to, at that point, turn back and head to the coterie haven. So I guess hop back in for now. We'll follow this till the end of where we can, and then if we find anything, great. If we do not, then we will just head back to the abode, as it were, and go from there. Does anyone have any objections to this?
Not at
Ryan.
all.
No.
Do
I
I
know with my politics dice, if this is a bad idea to go any further than where we are in this parking lot right now.
I can tell you, you guys are just about on the border. Any further north, and you guys probably will be outside of this.
Any further north, it's us 6 against the world.
I have heard tell that there probably is anarch activity there, and also Sabbat. And no offense, I'm not looking to deal with the Sabbat.
Also, I don't know none of y'all.
So we should turn back.
Yes.
Give the plant over, give our report, and tell them they can track further with a war party if they want. Or they can come with us.
You're assuming.
Well, we can, as Oscar has suggested, we can stick close to the border as best we can, see if there's any developments.
Travel right along it. See
Like
Yeah,
this
what
getting
happens.
jumped.
You can do whatever you like. I'm going to be as thorough as I can with as much room as I can take.
Would it start some sort of diplomatic incident, Ryan, if we crossed over into another baron's domain?
Why don't you give me an intelligence politics?
Here we go. No.
All right. So.
That's 6 successes.
Do you want to do anything with that? Because we've spent, what, 3 willpower so far?
Jesus Christ.
I went to 2, and, I've spent 3 and regained 1 back.
Yes.
This would be my 3rd out of a number. If we're about to get into a fight, that'd be a problem. But maybe this can save us. Yeah, I'll spend the 3rd. So
Okay.
I theoretically could re-roll that crit.
Yes.
That's the
So
1.
you hit select reroll. Make sure you mark down that 10.
Is it worth it to re-roll the other 2?
That's entirely up to you.
Oh, math, not my strong point. Okay. Oh. Fuck. I'm going to re-roll the 10 and the 1 and the 2 and hope.
Alrighty.
God damn it. You gotta be kidding me.
Alright, so I am going to hit Colin with the paranoia compulsion. Because it fits his personality so well.
It absolutely does. It's just an escalation of normal.
In the meantime, you would know in your time with your bloodline and who you delve in that leaving Camarilla borders, often the Camarilla do what they want. It's the tower. They have power. John doesn't have that kind of influence just yet. This is a new city that he has just taken. Going up into what could be Anarch or even Sabbat territory could start a war, and you don't have the soldiers to fight it.
Point one. I just sat here and watched you say the words Prince, Sabbat, and Strain in a row on a phone. I don't know how secure these lines are. I don't think you do either. And I don't think Proton Mail's quite up to par for whatever security they got. Point two. This would be a diplomatic incident. They just fought a war. They are recovering. And if somebody's new in town, that starts something. Point three. You have said you do not want to fuck with the Sabbat. Don't go further.
I'm not going to cross the border. I'm going to
We're at the
walk
border.
along the border. I'm
We're
going to
at the
keep
border.
moving. I'm going to move parallel to it so we can narrow down at least a search field, because that is our job.
I'm going to go into the car that I have and I'm going to pull out a map that I have in the bottom left side of the driver's door of Philadelphia streets. I'm going to lay it out on the back of Oscar's car, since this is the plant convoy, and I'm going to put and trace my finger. This is about where we are. This is about the height we can go.
Okay.
So going further, if this is not perfectly defined, like how states, aside from the Midwest, do not have straight lines, like Maryland or Delaware or Virginia or West Virginia.
Okay,
Power
we need
is
you to
where
get to
people-
it.
Yeah, Boone is raising his hand, just like waiting for a moment.
That's a bad idea. The longer we stay here, the more likely we are seen.
Yeah, Boone.
Boone will just kind of look at Colin. With all respect, fuck that. Can we just get moving? We're wasting time. You being paranoid for no reason, I feel. Saying the person who was always paranoid, so that's telling you something. This plant is heavy as shit. Can we please get rolling? Can we go just look? And then if we don't look, we don't go past the lines. I promise we won't go past, because I would rather not leave my home, because I haven't left Philly in forever and I might have a panic attack. And Oscar, I don't think you want that. Can we just go before I have a panic attack right now? Please, now, go. And he's like hyperventilating in the seat.
I see Liam.
What's the plant doing? Is it still pointing in the direction, or has it moved at all?
Yeah, it seems to be pointed kind of like northeast-ish. Just pointing. Having that pulsing, undulating.
I look to the map that Colin has brought out. If I was to trace a line from where we are and point it roughly in the same direction as the flower is pointing, what am I looking at?
Probably, to your best assumption, it seems to be pointing upriver on the Delaware.
And the borderline of
that runs between Pennsylvania and the state of New Jersey.
And that just effectively, there's nothing. There's just, we're at the border. That's it. We can't go any further. Effectively, without leaving Philadelphia. He just traces a line, pointing roughly in that direction. So, if I'm to understand this correctly, the flower is effectively acting as a magnet towards NJ.
Looks like.
I probably feel like it is tracking from what I'm getting from everything we just did. Yeah.
The question is, what is it pointing at?
Yeah, that is the thing.
Mysterious voice in the sky. I don't know. Tell me. And Boone will actually say that out loud. Boone will say that out loud and just look at the sky.
We found our Deadpool.
Catherine lets out a polite chuckle.
We found our Deadpool.
Do I have a rough idea of it? If the line crisscrosses with anything of significance?
It is hard to tell from your position. You're not too familiar with that area. Like if you were a little bit further north, Liam might have an idea. But we're not quite that far. There doesn't seem to be much of anything up that way.
Any buildings or fields or parks or anything like that?
I mean, there's plenty of fields and parks and stuff like that. There's even a casino up north, but nothing that would line up with the way these flowers are pointing.
We're coming up with Jack Shite. So I would like to see if we can at least get something, but if the majority are uncomfortable, we'll kind of side-eye Colin. We can move at wherever you wish to be most comfortable.
Thomas.
Draw a line on the map for where we are, crossing everything that it seems that those plants are pointing to, and then each one of anything of a minimal significance gets researched.
All right. You would have things like the, forgive my pronunciation on this, the Andalusia Historic House, Gardens, and Arboretum.
Arboretum, yeah.
Yep. The Bristol Wharf. The Bristol Amish Market. And maybe the Pensbury Manor.
And this is all without crossing the border, right?
Those are all above the border.
Okay.
Right. Then take that information back, research it, and see what we can do.
All right. So, if the group is in agreement that they turn back and head deeper into Philly and the protection that it provides, they can do so, unless anybody else has any stray ideas they want to follow.
Oscar will look to the majority and see where everybody is leaning, because he's all for looking, but does not want to drag anybody.
Moriarty.
Else to see.
Moriarty's on Oscar's. He's fully willing to go with Oscar to hug the border, basically. But if the rest of them are kind of like, let's go back and research.
All right. Well, I have Thomas, Boone, Colin, all wanting to go back. What about Catherine? Where does she sit in this?
Catherine, better to know what we're about to run into than to find trouble we can't get ourselves out of. But let's take the information back.
For a point. Onward. Follow me. We'll get to the Haven post haste. And we'll immediately hop into the vehicle and wait for those who are going to ride with him to ride with him.
Catherine jumps back into his vehicle.
I'm getting back in the fucking car.
Excellent, excellent. As you drive back, there is a address texted to you. As you follow it down to this address, you find a rather interesting place. It is an automotive museum. Valentina is waiting outside as she greets all of you. Kind of looks strange, like, you still have the plant. Anyway, if you follow me, and she will lead you around side, down through some mostly hidden away doors, down into a sub basement that has been set up into a bit of a haven. Some, regular beds, uh, a common room to share, bathrooms, including a shower. Uh, this has been assigned to you by the prince. You are welcome to use it at your discretion. Please don't do anything loud, which it's hard enough to cover up as it is. You can spend your days here, although I understand that only applies to most of you currently. And if you need anything, let me know.
Does it have a lab?
Not yet, no.
Oh. Can you take me back to the hospital? And looks at Oscar.
Sure. I mean, is anyone who wants to get out here or who doesn't want to ride with, I don't really think it matters. Anybody else need to go anywhere special?
I'll need to get back to my shop.
I can drop you off there. I'll drop you at the hospital first. Anybody else? Well, the rest of you have your own cars. What does it matter? And we'll get into his car with Catherine and Dr. Boone. Or actually, we'll check in with Liam first. Do you need to get anywhere? Or are you going to be fine here?
I wouldn't mind going back to my haven.
Oh, cool. Hop in. And we'll hop in. We'll drop. We'll start heading in the direction of wherever the hospital Boone is at, goes.
Okay. Dropping Boone off. I assume you're headed into your laboratory?
Before Boone gets out the car, he's going to give Oscar a 20 for gas. And then
Oscar will take it gladly and just tuck it into his suit jacket and go, if you need anything, we'll I'm assuming we have all exchanged numbers. We'll hand wave the fact that everybody's got each other's numbers now at this point.
Boone's number is on the 20.
Oh.
Does Boone still have the plant?
No one took it from him.
All right. So as Boone walks away from the car carrying the big potted plant
into the hospital. Oh dear God. Please tell me he's got common sense. Please tell me.
He does. I think he does have common sense because he is not dumb. But he'll kind of stop, go back to the car. My bad. Kind of put the pot in the front seat.
Oh my God.
We were one step away from Little Hospital of Horrors.
Damn it! I missed my chance. Anyway,
oh my God, this is hilarious.
He's gonna put the plant back in the car, and then he's gonna go back into his lab.
All right. Leaving the plant with Oscar in the front seat, Liam in the back, interesting. And you take Liam back to his haven?
Yes.
All right. While this is going on, I have three others of you. What are they doing?
Catherine was riding with Oscar and Boone and Moriarty, so.
Good to know. Thomas, are you driving yourself back?
To where he is staying?
Yes, to his current abode.
Yes.
And what about our friend Colin?
Is he still tweaking off a stack?
A little bit, yeah.
Check the 17, check the vest, make sure it's all set. Hey, anything wrong?
Nothing here.
All right, keep an eye out. I'm gonna see about He looks at the phone. I hate that they text. 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 Puts his piece back in the appendix holster. I hate that they text. Why did they say those words? Do they have any idea how easy it is to just set up a keystroke blogger, keystroke reader, or fuck. All right. Where's the shadow? Shadow gave me an address. Go to where the shadow is. Give report. Okay. And he's gonna take a few wrong turns, check if anyone's tailing him, check if he's had anything following him from the automotive museum.
Okay.
So counter surveillance check if you want me to, or if you want to roll it.
Give me a resolve and drive.
Let's see. Ooh, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, baby. 2 of these are hunger. Oh, fuck me dead.
You technically did.
You
Okay.
compel or become more paranoid. Oh, I know what he could do. So, first off, you
No. Yeah. No, you're not getting a compulsion.
Oh, you're gonna go up in hunger.
Your driving has caught the attention of a cruiser.
Oh
Who
God!
is now tailing you and flipped on their lights.
All right. Fine. We hit the hazards. I've rehearsed this. I've been trained for this. Where am I? Where am I getting pulled over?
Just a side road, like inner city. You can pull off to the shoulder.
Like Kensington, or is this another?
It's further south than that.
Not as bad. Not
yeah.
area. Okay.
It is probably somewhere around King Sessing.
All right, let me pull up Google Maps real quick. All right, where is that relative to? Oh, the City Hall.
Oh, gonna ask me tough questions.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm trying to. King Sessing. Nope, found it. It's to the left. Got you. All right. Looks kind of residential, from what I'm saying. All right.
Mm-hmm. As this officer comes up and taps on your window, officer, why don't you ask him some questions?
Oh.
License and registration, please.
All right. Reaches over. Goes into the glove box. One hand on the steering wheel. Other hand into the glove box. Registration first. Hands it. Goes back down. Secondary pocket on the right is going to be his registration. Hands the card over. License. Registration was in the glove box.
Right.
So, you know why I pulled you over tonight?
No, sir.
All right, give me a minute. He'll waddle back to his cruiser. Several minutes later, he comes back. Driving a little radically out there. And he'll shine the light in on your face. Been drinking tonight?
No, sir.
Technically not a lie.
Got anything in your car I should know about, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and step out of the vehicle?
I'd rather not. I don't believe you have probable cause yet. I do wish to inform you that I do have a open carry license for the state of Pennsylvania.
Why don't you give me a charisma and persuasion?
Fuck.
You just
Y'all wanna
activated that
see-
cop's trap card.
Y'all want to see? Am I being detained?
You just activated my flight or flight response. And I am a flightless bird.
Y'all want to see something magical?
No.
You're gonna.
Oh
I
no.
don't even know. So I would type hunger as the amount of dice, correct? Not
Yes.
over. Ding.
Oh
Hmm.
no.
Mhm,
Oh God.
You should have one more dot.
No.
Charisma
Back
plus
up.
persuasion. Let me look at my sheet again because I just assumed that I had. You said charisma plus persuasion, right?
Yep.
Bad news for you, boss.
Oh, all right.
I'll take it if you want me to roll another dice.
No, I thought you had a dot in persuasion, but
I am being honest with you. I
all right.
could lie. Would you like me to roll subterfuge?
So you have said I'd
No.
rather not, trying to convince this officer to leave you alone. This has not worked in your favor.
Mhm.
In fact, quite the opposite.
Mhm.
As a fact, I think Colin actually comes off as I might be trying to hide something.
I'm feeling unsafe.
Yes.
Cop's going to lean into his radio, and you hear him clearly communicate that he has one detained and requesting for backup.
Okay.
His hand drops to his pistol on his hip. Sir, step out of the vehicle.
I'm reaching for my phone. My hand is. I know. I'm looking at him. Got my one hand on the wheel. My phone is right here. And I gave you my ID, which you are holding on to. You haven't handed it back to me.
No, he has not.
I pull out a business card. I'm going to call my lawyer.
Just so I feel I need to ask this question so your storyteller has some clarification.
You're
So
about
you
to
are
shoot me, yeah.
resisting a lawful order to step out of the vehicle.
It's up to the lawyer, doesn't it?
I would say that is probably refusal.
Oh, that's resisting.
It depends on if you think you can drag me out or put me at gunpoint and say, get out of the car, and what you can do.
Okay. Let me ask you a question about your concealed carries permit. Because
I thought you said that it was a open carry state.
It is an open carry state, with the exception of 3 cities in Pennsylvania.
You son of a bitch.
Philadelphia, Harrisburg, and Pittsburgh are considered cities of the first class.
Mhm.
You need to have a concealed weapons permit from that city to carry in that city. Also in the state of Pennsylvania, having a weapon in your holster in a car is considered concealed carry.
Would my 2-dot mask, if he ran it, which is supposed to pass federal background checks, have that?
Yes.
A 2-dot mask would pass federal background check. That I will leave up to discretion of your ST, though.
Yes.
That is up to whether or not you're about to shoot me.
The 2-dot
I
mask
am
would
you.
pass that check.
He has to run it, though, and currently he is.
Oh, he went back to his car and came back.
Yeah. I got my phone. I got both hands. If anything, I'm a little bit paler. I'm holding on to the wheel, and I've got the phone, and I've dialed his number. I have explained my situation.
Okay.
All right. So calling the lawyer
It's
and
not anything I'm afraid of right now, Thomas.
So,
Just with investigation, I've looked this individual up. You said waddled back to the car. I'm guessing they're overweight individual.
probably not in the best of shape. I don't know what I did to deserve this.
You became our storyteller.
No. It's got nothing to do with you guys.
While
You asked for it.
while we're taking a minute to gather some things up,
Yep.
why don't we do a quick check-in, because
Yeah.
this is a good time to check in.
This is something that some of you have hit on your consent sheets. So
Way ahead of you, boys.
yeah. I'm hearing the delay between what I hear in my headphones and what somebody is watching on their phone. Here we go. These are the stats.
Oh, Colin wouldn't be having this. This one's for me. He's got both his hands occupied right now.
All right. So, have basically refused, right? Because I think I have good so far. So the officer probably will start to escalate these things. As a lot of these things go, is Colin going to resist being pulled out?
Yes.
All right. Then I
am stalling for time. If this gentleman is going to attempt to break into my window, I have my phone recording it.
Right.
If I'm done with that.
And for clarification, who did he call?
Harrison and Company, I believe.
Oh, so
let me double check that is the right card that I was given.
That is one of the cards you were given. I know exactly who that phone number goes to. A nice woman at a desk that works for a gentleman we all know and love.
Where's the card channel on the?
Yeah, it gets lost.
Okay.
Harrison & Co. is the law firm owned by an
individual.
John Sexton.
Okay.
Obviously under a different name, for safety. A young woman would answer, Harrison & Co., how can I help you? This is Miss Wayne.
Good evening, Miss Wayne. I am currently being detained. I believe that I have not had my card run, and I need a lawyer over at the intersection of, and he looks forward, looks back. Sooner would be better.
Understood.
At this juncture,
please wait. Give us about 10 minutes and someone will be on scene.
At this juncture, if anyone can advise me on the phone legal counsel, I would appreciate it.
Remember that you have the right to remain silent. And if they do resist, or if they do try to remove you, you are free to resist and buy yourself time.
All right. Thank you very much. Do you want a recording on the phone?
Please and thank you.
All right. I set it to streaming to let's say a secure crypto bin, something like a encoded mega, and I send the link to the law firm.
All right. Give me an intelligence and technology.
Somebody else do that.
What?
You're the only
That's
one
your
out there,
role.
buddy.
Yeah, that's your role.
And you're by yourself.
If he's back in the car, I go, handle it.
Ah, yes. One moment while I pull that up.
Thank you.
There it is.
You got this, girl. Are you rolling it in the channel?
I will in just a moment.
Oh. Nothing bad or explosive has ever happened in Philadelphia due to the police.
Wait, that will be set up.
Thank you, girl. Good job.
All right. In the meantime, you are trying to buy yourself time.
Yes. I would like to use academics, investigate, and talk about if this gentleman comes back over and is radioing back and forth. I'll say, this is a law firm I've contacted. I'm streaming you from inside my personal vehicle. And I would like to use, would you say this would be maintaining composure and etiquette?
Yeah, I could do composure etiquette.
Okay.
Mm.
Great. I am not a social butterfly, but it's better than that other roll that I rolled. The 1 in 10. So this might not be a y'all want to see something in a moment.
It's fine. It's fine.
We shall see. Though I will direct Ryan's attention back to the dice channel.
Yeah.
I have an investigation. Okay. Should I be rolling subterfuge then? I'm trying to.
No.
Okay.
That's something totally different.
And I still have had blush active from the evening.
Blush does not go away unless you drop it.
Here we go, kids.
On the plus side, most beat cops are not looking for kindred because we maintain the masquerade.
Willpower. We're going from 3 to 4.
Alrighty.
One moment. I'm just note taking that to keep track of myself and keep myself honest. All right, here we go. Fuck you. Okay.
Nope. Just not pulling it off.
Right.
However, this officer does seem to see right through whatever you're pitching.
Okay.
He's not buying it.
Okay. Well, he's being streamed. I've rolled my window up. He can break into my personal vehicle, or he can wait for backup. There is a person who is not coming out of the car. There's backup coming to him, and there's a lawyer coming. That sounds like a not him problem to me. That is what I would guess from different police. Or you could decide it is his problem, because you're the FB.
Within a few more minutes, more cruisers roll up. And you have about 4 more officers around you.
Yep.
Including the one here.
Yep. So 5 or 4?
There are 5 total now.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So.
All right. I'm streaming. It's going to an encrypted Dropbox, basically, and that has been linked to my lawyer. I am sitting in my car. They can all choose to break into it. They can... PPD, please. Don't make me break, please. All right. They can all debate and circle around and wait for a lawyer and or a sergeant or higher to come over.
Okay.
And they all know that they're being recorded, and that is something that is going to give most people pause.
They do. But at this time, they do not care.
Okay.
So they are going to try to remove you.
Okay.
So I need a strength and brawl from both parties involved.
How do they get in through the window?
They're going to bust it.
How long does that take?
Not long.
Gotcha.
It's a quick boom.
My seatbelt's on. How do they get it off?
They are going to try to disengage it.
My arms are crossed over top of my waist. They're
Okay.
going to have to reach in and try. And I'm willing to bet that the car isn't going to unlock. The lock's going to stick, isn't it, Ryan?
After popping the window, they're able to get the lock open.
This would be her hint to take the initiative and jam the lock.
We're going to bypass that because we're getting a little power gaming.
Okay.
So we're going to move forward with them attempting to remove you, which is just going to be a strength and brawl from the two parties involved. All right, I got 3 and 1. So after some rustling around, despite your best efforts, they are able to pull you out. At this time, another car does pull up. And in it, a maybe friendlier face at this point.
That depends on whose voice I'm about to hear.
Oh, I'm sorry for what I'm making you hear.
Yeah, I was guessing it was that individual.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a lovely way to meet you, Miss D.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi there. Excuse me. Pardon.
As some of them are holding you, a lot of heads turning what the hell's going on?
Excuse me. Officers?
Can I help you, ma'am?
Oh, actually, yes. So, Francis Dillard, on behalf of Harrison & Co.
And
Cop just kind of rolled his eyes.
What are you doing? They send lawyers out on the street now?
Yeah.
Oh, well, my
Chasing
client
ambulances
called a
and everything.
lawyer right before your officer there tried to physically remove him from his car.
Well, he refused our commands and wouldn't comply, so that was a necessary thing.
Oh, right. I absolutely understand. I do. Don't get me wrong.
Ma'am, if you don't mind, can you back up? We're taking him into custody.
Mass manipulation.
Alrighty. Give me that. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Roll that beautiful bean footage? Okay. Do remind me of what the role you need is.
Oh, for mass manipulation.
They're not expecting it. They don't oppose unless they're supernatural.
I believe
Correct.
you're right. So let me just
they
make sure you
are.
don't need a rouse check.
Just checking.
1 rouse check, and then, yep.
Now I owe the Ventru. All right.
Oh,
you catch their
fine.
gaze, and it extends your ability to mesmerize to all of them. Which will be, so total it's going to be 2 rouses, 1 for mesmerize, 1 for mass manipulation.
So I only get hungrier the once.
All right.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to mesmerize them all and command them to look directly at me and remain still.
All right. They kind of lock up, almost hands drop to sides.
Toy soldiers.
Toy soldiers, like drones just locked in.
And then we're going to add on the forgetful mind.
And poof, these memories are gone.
And for the one of them, the original officer, she is going to implant the memory that he was about to write Mr. Fry a ticket. Just a regular speeding ticket.
Okay. So I assume Colin kind of composes himself, climbs back in the car.
Door. I am Anne's window, and I'll be waiting for my ticket. I got a citation for a busted window.
Yep, basically.
The officer pulls out a citation pad. All right, look, everything came back. I'm just going to write you up for the speeding. You were going 10 over. And get this window cleaned up. And he writes a ticket. Get it handled in a week and you won't get any points on your license, all right?
Understood, sir.
Get the fuck out of here.
Have a nice night.
And he looks at the assembled a little confused, like,
the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah,
why are there so
all
many
kinda,
people here?
Look back and forth like, I don't know. You called us for a speeding ticket? You really called us here for that?
And he waddles on back to his cruiser, and he's going to hear about this later, but that's a future him problem.
Oh, thank you, officers. You have a pleasant evening.
And this small crowd will disperse in their various directions.
Ms. Dillard is going to lean directly into Colin's window so that he cannot speed away until she frickin' allows him to.
I am...
Trying to light his smoke with shaking hands.
It's empty. He's recovering. This is nothing in it. It's just the oral fixation and the warmth at the end of the metal.
Before they get too far, you might want to have your little friend do whatever it does to their electronics, don't you think?
God damn it. Get on it, please. Thanks.
Yep. I'm going to give it a little bit of a penalty for distance.
Away from the anchor.
Yep, basically.
Fuck.
All right. Well, that didn't matter. As it comes back shortly, like, it's all gone.
Thanks, Kate. Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that roll.
Now, what did we learn?
I would like the individual in front of me to tell me what I've learned.
We've learned to watch the car and the speed in the car, right? And perhaps not to say a bunch of, I believe the colloquialism might be sovereign citizen bullshit and piss off the PD.
Yeah, I'm not looking to get the roof of my house bombed.
So, what did we learn?
Respond better with a little bit better etiquette.
Yeah, we don't piss off the PD.
Trying like hell, ma'am.
Right. So, this wasn't the cleanup coterie because this isn't technically their raison d'etre. Usually they're cleaning up bodies and whatnot.
That's what I figured, why I called the lawyers.
Which means you can either owe His Grace personally, or you can owe me.
He owns this?
His Grace owns the law offices and why I was sent out. So essentially, you would owe His Grace, and His Grace would owe me, or you owe me. You can pick.
How bad? Moderate?
Oh, fair to moderate. Not enough to, cause you to go into fatal danger or nothing, but you would owe.
Above the table, kind of hinting at like a minor boon being owed.
Him. Please and thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Are you sure? Do you want to be the reason that the prince owes a boon to me?
Oh, I'm not sure. I just met you. I've known him for longer than you. What's your name, ma'am? Or he gestures as which name she would like to give him.
Oh, hi there. Folks call me Ms. Dillard, and you will do the same if you know what's good for you.
He squints at her. Hey, Ryan, and g'day. Did he happen to hear a certain voice just like this woman say "Welcome to Philadelphia" a couple nights back?
Oh no, the voice
No,
you heard
no,
say
it was
"Welcome
different.
to Philadelphia" a couple of nights back had a southern accent.
But Colin would know that in Camarilla City, there is only one person that the prince can really owe anything to, and that would be the harpy.
Do I want to owe her directly, or do I want to owe the prince?
And if you owe the prince will owe her, thus putting the prince in debt on somebody else's dime.
All right. Oh, you know how I feel about this NPC. You. He says in character, you.
Oh, yeah, probably the wiser solution in a new city. What would you be new here and all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we won't talk about Prince Exon being in the hungry times right now during his practice of his belief.
Oh no, we weren't going to mention that voice in the sky.
No.
He doesn't know about that because the three of you deliberately didn't say anything about that in the 0.5.
We wouldn't know anything
I just
about
did the
that.
dice rolls.
Anyway, right, probably wise. So, what we learned is discretion is the better part of valor, and when authority tells us to do something, the best idea is likely to comply.
Step out of the car next time.
Yeah. Especially since your paperwork held up.
Figures.
Yeah. Also, it might be a good idea to invest in some tricks to be able to do that before the situation escalates. Don't you think?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So, I imagine you have something you were supposed to be doing, and that's why you had the lead foot?
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Okay.
attempting to see somebody else.
Right. Carry on.
Goodbye, ma'am.
Yes. Both can part their ways. In the meantime, we
So to
will.
see. As
I
I'm
will
scolded off in the distance.
shift the camera over to. I'm gonna give it over to Thomas real quick, as he heads away from the Coterie Haven and off to his abode for the night. Was he doing anything special, or just off to kind of stew in his resentment right now?
Yeah, he's just heading back to be where he was told because he no longer has coterie business.
Mm-hmm. All right. So headed back to his apartment, going up to the haven to which he was assigned. Nothing out of the ordinary. No issues. That lovely black dahlia still hanging on the wall. A stark reminder of a gift from whoever sent it. But at least you have your car back and it doesn't have a flat anymore.
Yay.
And I think the next one that gets dropped off would be one Mr. Moriarty. Are you having Oscar drop you back off at the museum where Elysia is? Where they host Elysium? You're muted, by the way, too.
That wouldn't be his next destination. If everyone's heading back to their havens, if everyone's heading back to the haven, if everyone's just kind of like, okay, we done what we could, like let's all just go home. Yeah, he'll be heading back to his haven unless specifically told otherwise.
Okay. No, there's no special instructions for you.
On the way there, because of the fact that he's, I'm assuming at this point he's riding with both. He's riding with Oscar and Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
he just looks over to Catherine, extends a hand, and just goes, "My apologies. There was not any time for introductions. I am Liam Moriarty."
And Catherine does polite nod, but does not take the hand. And
Pulls it back.
Catherine Diadalma.
A pleasure. He then looks to Isaac. Sorry. Isaac.
It's your man crush from New York by Night. That's who it is.
Hey, don't call me out like that.
Pretty sure he's everyone's man crush.
He looks to Oscar and he says, "This is going to be very interesting. And by interesting, I mean difficult."
You caught that, did you?
Yeah. He turns back to Catherine. I'm not trying to pry into your personal business. Not at all. I just need to ask a small question. The tension between you and Mr. Pierce, was it?
She'll sigh, yes.
Is it going to be the kind of thing that's going to cause us problems long term?
I'll behave as long as he does.
Fair enough. I can't ask any fairer than that. It would seem that we've got a long way before we can work functionally as a group.
Oh, goody.
Yes. And I believe, Oscar, that you deserve a little bit of explanation, seeing as how it's been a while since we've seen each other. Yes.
Last I saw you, to be absolutely fair, Mr. Moriarty, was when you had a heartbeat, and now you do not.
Yes, a lot has changed in that time. Although this does explain a lot back in those days.
Oh, does it? What does it explain for you, my friend?
Mostly the way that you would just disappear like Batman.
Oh, yeah, that. When you run with the dark a bit, it tends to follow you when you try to make it disappear.
Fascinating.
Speaking of, who got you? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer if you don't wish.
I mostly refer to him as the good doctor.
The good doctor. Uh-huh.
There was an incident. I'll tell you more about it when we have more time. But there was a certain incident, our paths cross. I had a bit of an inkling as to what he was. And then here I am. And then he just takes off the glasses, and both Catherine and Oscar can just see.
What color are his eyes again?
Orange.
Orange. Vibrant orange.
Bloody hell.
Catherine, look over. Lovely eyes.
Thank you.
Very intense those are. Quick question. What color were Moriarty's eyes before his embrace?
Brown.
It's certainly a similar shade to his own, probably, because Oscar's got like kind of a caramel brown eyes. We'll just look and goes, definitely a departure from the brown that they were. Still striking.
Thank you. I believe they've become one of my best features.
I would certainly say so.
You're not entirely wrong. Now, that still does not explain. Let me clarify my question, and to the best of my ability, without being too invasive. If you don't wish to, you can just tell me to fuck off. What family grabbed you?
Asking the important questions.
Well, seeing as how we're going to be a coterie together, and considering there is a lot to go into making this coterie run as an effective unit, suppose it's only fair that we start sharing a bit about ourselves. It's not that I don't want to tell you, it's more the fact that
Plainly.
Yes, considering where I came from, you're not going to get any judgment from me.
And I'm an outcast from my own family, so no judgment here.
I am of the clan Zemitzi.
Oh, you got snagged by a dragon.
Indeed.
And you made it out this far?
Yes, after leaving New York.
Oh.
I came into this area in the middle of a war.
Yeah. The sire saw the writing on the wall years ago, and self-preservation kicked in a bit, and there was the bigger, ever-looming threat of the darker side of where my family comes from.
It was indeed a perilous affair, considering everything. I was we'll say a minor factor into the war, a foot soldier, if you will.
I knew you were destined for great things.
You flatter me.
I speak the truth.
But it was indeed harrowing, and we lost some good kindred. But
war isn't.
But the other side lost even more.
It's the important part, I suppose. I do not. War is an indiscriminate taker of life, both in their standards and ours. It takes indiscriminately. It does not care who you are. It will leave you.
Never changes, does it?
It certainly doesn't do that. I do believe we might be coming up on where you might be needing to be, Sir Liam, unless there's another spot you need. Or
indeed. As Oscar's car pulls up along the side of the road, near where Moriarty would lay his head at night, does he have any parting words?
He just simply looks out to the street and then looks back to them again, and just, like I said, this city has been through a lot, and we have got a long way to go before we can consider ourselves a proper coterie. But if this helps in the general scheme of things, then I look forward to working with you all in the upcoming nights.
As do I.
I look forward to working with you again, Liam. Stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel, as always.
I always do. And then he leaves.
Just heading up to his haven for the rest of the evening before the sun comes up.
Heads into his haven, locks the door, closes the curtains, and then just he's actually gonna go back to that that pamphlet that he got from that hippie, the one that seemed a bit off.
Yes, the one talking about the what was it, Living Life Waters, I believe.
Yeah, the one that he mesmerized the hippie into telling what it actually was. He's gonna try and see if he can, because he knows that there's something off about the pamphlet. He's gonna try and take another crack at that.
All right. Give me an intelligence investigation to try to crack that open.
Intelligence and investigation. I seriously need to apply more dots into into some skills. And
You know, there's something that gets it. I mean, do you want to risk it for the biscuit?
No,
right.
not right now.
So there's still something off about this flyer, but you just can't put your finger on it.
Once he's kind of like looked at it, and he kind of resigns himself a little bit, just thinking like, when I take it to the sheriff, we'll figure it out then.
That's a good plan.
Does he has a number for the shadow?
Yes.
He's gonna ring it.
This is Miss Valentina. How can I help you?
Yes, this is Mr. Moriarty. We were tasked earlier tonight with a certain investigation. Is there? I just wanted to inquire before anything else happens. Is there anything else that we can do, given the knowledge and what we've uncovered tonight?
There is a group of people that you could speak with. I am under the impression you have a meeting with some of the local law enforcement later this week. Perhaps I shall tag along and we can speak about it then.
By all means, that works for me.
All right, very well. I will see you soon.
Thank you very much.
From there, I'm going to shift back to Dr. Ripley after walking into the hospital. Is there anything special about Dr. Ripley's evening?
He has some cool things that involves blood, and he didn't really need the dirt. He just wanted it, and he'll take the first dirt that he got and put in his collection of dirt from different places he's never been.
Okay.
And then he's going to take the blood dirt, sift it out under a microscope, and he'll just examine it, not really looking for anything specific. And at the same time, he is writing down notes in a journal to his right, pretty much explaining his thoughts about each of his new coterie members. Starting with Oscar, he put strong and dumb. Hope to see bones break soon. Catherine, he puts smart but up her own ass. Hope to not see bones break soon. Thomas, smart, strong, must see if I can get money. Wonder if he heals fast. Liam, creepy as shit. Must ask what is behind the glasses. Who wears shades in the house?
Oh.
For Colin, it's I don't like him, too paranoid, and that's saying something. But smart. Take too many pictures. Next time I should pose. Hope bones break. And then he's going to put Dr. Boone Ripley. breathed 252 times, blinked 115, felt skin twice. Must fix issue.
All right.
And that
Well,
is his evening.
that if that wasn't a neurospicy dictation, I don't know what was. I can feel my own skin. Must fix that. Okay. Oscar, as you pull away from Liam's, heading next to Catherine's shop by her own instructions. Is there any more small talk between the two of them, or is it silent for this ride?
Oscar will go. It's like I cannot pretend to know what that whole situation is, and I'm not going to ask. But I will ask, are you all right? I know that there was a lot of tension and the like. I just want to make sure you're all right.
As fun as I can be.
I suppose. I noticed the whole situation in general just seemed to make you
Speak plainly.
Make you unsettled. I recognize that bit of unsettlement.
Well, when someone ghosts you after you take them into your home, no explanation, no note, no calls. After you've stitched them up and protected them the best to your ability, seeing them again, well, it can cause a little bit of stress.
Oof. Yeah, that. I know that feeling all too well. Regardless, I am sorry. When they kind of pull up, Will offer, because Oscar still has the plant in the car with him, and Catherine is going to say, would you allow me to take this inside? I don't want to go and violate your abode without.
I wouldn't even know how to take care of this. And I wouldn't want my employees to see it and not know what it is.
Well, it is more of I do not have the means by which to take care of a plant, period. In matter of point of fact, I'm fairly sure I will kill most, if not anything, I would touch. I do not have, what is it the Americans say?
Green thumb?
Yes, I do not. I have what is probably a little more ironic, a black thumb.
Maybe take it back to the prince. I can't risk my employees seeing it and questioning things. I have no other place to put it but in the front, and
well,
I can't do anything else. My apologies, though. Or take it back to the Clan Haven. Or not Clan Haven, but the Coterie Haven.
True enough, I suppose. I can probably
just let someone know that it's there.
Yes, I should let the shadow know. I'm not entirely sure if the shadows even knows what's going on. I should probably get on that. In any case, before I depart, and he'll reach and kind of pat his breast pocket, reach in and pull out a cream-colored rose to hand it to her. I looked up a bit of what the language of flowers mean. I think this one is thoughtfulness, things of that nature. Forgive me, Senora. And is gonna slip into Italian because he heard her speak it, and goes, for the stress that was caused to you, may this little token bring you some peace.
And she'll smile slightly and take it. Grazie, Senora.
Stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel. And if you need anything, don't feel free to call. I am
Not
around.
too far away.
Probably not. And will kind of bow his head in deference to her and kind of back up to his car and will slowly get in. Wait, he will actually lean up against his car and wait for her to get inside and lock the door. Is going when she's inside and the door is locked, he's going to wait 30 seconds to make sure that nothing goes wrong inside, and then we'll pull off and start making his way back to the Coterie Haven directly for the plant and for a debrief, if that's not already being done.
All right. Catherine is able to go into her shop, lock the door behind her. Everything seems in order. No more broken windows tonight. Still waiting on that one to be repaired, but they'll get to it.
And she will have the shop closed, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, as Oscar drives off into the night, back to the Coterie Haven, taking the plant inside with him, I assume?
Yeah, but this time he's going to just take off his suit jacket and hold it over because he just doesn't want to have to do things. He's just going to carry his suit jacket over it and is going to look around for the coterie shadow.
Right. You would find her sitting in an armchair, legs crossed over one another.
Evening, Miss Valentina.
Evening, Mr. Sullivan, was it? Yes?
Aye. And we'll kind of take off the jacket from over the plant, drape it on the back of a chair, and we'll set the plant down on on a coffee table-isk area or a counter, whichever. And we'll sit down and goes, have you been debriefed?
I have notes. I know you all took that. I assume that's the plant under your coat. You all took it with you?
Yeah,
we
took. Yes.
Called me?
Yes, we called you to try to figure out what we needed to do next. And from what I was told, the Thomas being the one to have the idea at least first to start, and the rest of us followed suit to research what may be potentially within the line. I think Mr. Colin, he said his name was, had a map where the border might be and some things that are not over the border, but just like within inside it, places to research that we might be able to look into before going into, because he seemed to have a bit of bug in his ass about investigating for much further closer to the border, which I partially don't necessarily blame him for. It is just frustrating that it does not seem we were able to really get much by way of finding.
Well, if I may, Mr. Sullivan, have any of you even figured out what we're dealing with yet? What this thing is?
It drinks vitae. We're fairly certain.
So do we. So do ghouls. Sort of familiar.
None of us are familiar with it or seen anything like it. And to be absolutely fair, this was a plant that was given vitae. I don't believe that it actually was actively made to do this. There were no notes in anything that we found in there. You were there for most of that, and we were not able to find anything. We don't know what it is.
So perhaps we start there.
True enough.
Before we go bearing off into what could be an ambush or even more of these things that may be hostile.
True enough. I just not sure who else I could think to really ask. I don't know the others in the city as well, and I know that there aren't very many of us.
Well, perhaps we should resource that then.
Probably should.
They are rebuilding the chantry. Perhaps they might have answers. They have secrets they don't like to share.
Wonderful.
And if anybody knows of strange magics, this might be the opportunity to ask them.
True enough, I suppose. Is there a point person that you could put me in the direction of that I might be able to talk to someone? I don't want to overstep, and I don't, like I said, know their infrastructure.
We should reach out to Primogen Islington. He came up from down south and would be the best resource to ask, as he is head of his family in the court.
Oh.
I know he has some younger ones about, even one that fought in the war in the coup along Prince Sexton.
Oh.
Perhaps your Mr. Moriarty might know them. Miss Sinclair, I believe her name was.
Oh, wonderful. And he's going to mutter under his breath in Irish Gaelic, fucking Tremere. And we'll kind of, we'll swallow a bit and says, all right. Well, that is the extent of the debrief. I dropped their people where they expected. They got to where they needed to safely. The only people I have not had an opportunity to check in with, is Mr. Pierce and Mr. Collin. I do know that Mr. Pierce has his own vehicle, and as does Mr. Collin, but I do not. I don't know if I need to check in with them or need to. I'm trying to do right because I know it's not just me.
Mr. Fry is just fine. Some lessons and issues slowed him down, but he is fine, alive and well.
Oh.
And Mr. Pierce is just fine. The prince would not let anything happen to that young man. He's got an eye for him. I'm not sure what it's about yet.
It does not surprise me, given that they share the same family and they tend to flock together, as we are all aware.
Scepters and swords and crowns and all that.
There is a joke there that I will refrain from making, but I think we are all familiar.
Yes. Well, you should see your way home for the evening. The sun will be up in a couple hours, and we will tackle this another night.
As good as any. Never mind. It'll be a thing for another day, I suppose. Quick question. That thing with Mr. Collin, Mr. Fry. Is that something we need to be worried about?
That remains to be seen.
Oh.
We won't jump to conclusions just yet.
Okay. Okay. As long as it's not to be worried about, I just want to make sure things are handled correctly.
Of course, that's why I'm your shadow, to ensure this happens.
If anyone can do the job.
Good night, Mr. Sullivan.
Good night. And we'll kind of bow in deference, and we'll back out of the room and head home for the evening. And
Excellent.
we'll leaving the plant in the coterie haven, assuming that the shadow will deal with it, because it's kind of like an unspoken thing. Like, yeah, no, you deal with this. I can't take it. I'm going to kill it. Let's not. Before the premier can even look at it.
With Oscar returning back to their haven, the darkness fades away from Philadelphia. The sun rises, allowing the kind to walk amongst themselves without fear of kindred breathing down their necks from the unseen shadows. And that's where we close this chapter of the Neonates story for the night. I thank you all for being here. It has been lovely. The players have been amazing. We're going to go around and let you know who these people are, where you can find them, starting with the man who came up with this insane idea to begin with, Einar.
Hey, everybody. I'm Einar. You can find me at Einar_TTRPG on the Clock app or anywhere else you're allowed to find me, for that matter. And I'm just so glad to have everybody out tonight.
Yes, you'll have to tune in when the Ancilla have their coterie. That man's in charge of that. It'll be wonderful. Wolfgar.
Yes, I am Wolfgar, Reaper Wolfgar on TikTok. That was Oscar, and that was really fun to get into that character headspace. Everyone here is doing a fantastic job. All the STs, SPCs, PCs, the man up in the chair, the voice of God in the sky. Like, everyone's done an incredible job, and I am so looking forward to the rest of this coterie dynamic filling out, and it's going to be great. I'm so excited.
All right. Next up, we have the lovely cosplaying Phoenix, our lone Toreador.
The oldest and the shortest of the coterie.
That is your shadow. Your shadow beat you there.
I feel that was done on purpose, but that's such point. Hi, I'm Phoenix, Lahai Deviti on TikTok. If you want to see any more of my problem children, you can find them there.
And next up, we have our spreadsheet extraordinaire and storyteller for the emissary table, G'day.
Good evening. I'm G'day FX. Anywhere I'm allowing you to figure out where I'm at. Right now, though, it's really just the Clock app. I've been somewhat boycotting my Instagram, so you'll find me there. I'm also the background runner for our Philly by Night TikTok, where there will be copious memes as well as clips and things pretty much for the next week. So, yeah.
All right. A rather new face to our, but welcomed face to our community, Mr. Book playing Colin Fry.
Good evening, everybody on the East Coast. I am Book. I play Colin Fry, and I am, in fact, being detained. You can find me on Discord as Grim Grimoire, and you can find me on TTV as of a few seconds ago as a Grim Book, a brand new character I played, like brand new name I just made. Yeah, any statements I make are not representations of what is believed by the people of Philly by Night. Thank you. Bye.
And now for a man that's probably spent more time in Twitch than all of us combined, Took.
Well, like you said, old man Took. Hello, everybody. I'm Took, I guess. I do all kinds of shit, especially here on the Twitches and now on the YouTubies and the TikTokies. I am starting up a whole bunch of different podcasts and also do VTM, Werewolf, D&D, play games, all kinds of shit. So come check me out. Also, thank you for having me, and I'm going to cause chaos for sure.
I have absolutely no doubts there. I have seen all these players' backstories. There are concerns. Next, we have our international friend, Mr. Wandering Demon.
Greetings to you from across the pond. Tally ho, yip yip and whatnot. I am the Wandering Demon, and I play the Zemitzi criminal known as Liam Moriarty. And I am just so happy to be here. Great players, great STs, and we're going to create a great story. I'm really excited.
And last but certainly not least, Kit.
Hey, I'm Kit. You can find me on TikTok, Kitsune_charms, where I have a host of several different other characters that could be entertaining. Thomas is definitely one of my more interesting ones, so I say things that are a little bit rude. Well, I apologize for things I say, but I am hungry. And I'm looking forward to the rest of this story. It's going to be a blast.
perhaps not as hungry as they should be right now, but we'll get there.
Nice.
The dice definitely cursed Kit in their prelude session to today. Rough go, but he's hanging in there.
I just forgot.
Religious guilt is going to kill me.
I just forgot as well to mention where you can find. You can find me on TikTok at the Wandering Demon. Apologies.
There you go. And I am your storyteller for the Neonates. I love them. I adore them. They are chaos gremlins, and I would not trade any one of them for the world. You can find me on TikTok under Darth Caustic, same as Discord minus the underscore. And you can see me here hosting the Neonate tables on Twitch. You can also catch me on the Slices and Dices channel, getting some games in over there. But for now, remember, we may play in a world of darkness, but each and every one of you brings light to the world, and don't forget that. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.